Please note, views and opinions expressed in the course of this program do not represent that of WOTV. Therefore, this channel is not liable to any legal action that may result from this program.
And Mohbad was in the dark somewhere. And Mohbad said, if anything happens to me, blame Naira Marley and Malian music. That was February of 2022. Mischief makers took it and brought it to 2023. This is the reason why a good journalist like Kami Olunloyo will give you the time and date. You need to authenticate videos. That's what they call authentication. And Kami Olunloyo is April 18, 2024. So that when you go to my video 5 years' time, you saw the date on it. At the end of the day, we had to sieve out videos. The photo shoot, the video shoot on the wheelchair was the latter. The AI manipulation. Oh, he's been killed. Oh, he's dead. He's in the mortuary, case closed. The voice of Sam Larry in AI. Nigerians went out to implicate Sam Larry and Naira Marley by heavily lying on them on social media. When you don't focus on the bigger picture, you spend your time with bullshit and waste it. And Kemi has been paid by Naira Marley and all that. Someone I don't even talk to. Someone I'm actually upset at for the fact that he wanted to give me 500K for my birthday and Mohbad even stopped him. And he went with Mohbad's recommendation. Didn't even do that song with my son. Instead, I'm hearing, oh, you're supporting Naira Marley so that you can sign your son. What kind of nonsense is that? What mentality do you guys have in Nigeria? Or in your opinion, Emma Romudio Day. Why Joko Shisi Nigeria? If I Japan, if I look Canada, if I look US, if I look see modern countries, then you understand how things work. Egbe mentality of she sorry. You hate gays, you hate lesbians, you want to go to Canada. How can you go to Canada if you don't like gays and lesbians? You will meet gays and lesbians that will be the one to give you a job. That will be the one to educate you with how the system works. You will meet a gay man who will come to your house and fix your cable TV, to fix your internet. You will meet a gay police officer who will be the one to arrive when somebody has shot you or they have robbed you. You are looking for sexual orientation instead of focusing on your fucking lives and humanity. You better leave that homosexuality alone, especially those of you going to Canada. The minute you fuck up, they'll give you 30 years. That's the penalty for hate crime against gays and lesbians. That's what I'm doing on Facebook now, teaching Nigerians basic things, free, because it is shocking. Yesterday, we were posting emojis. What is this emoji for? These two organs work together in the body. I had an emoji of the heart and the lungs. And the comments were full of people typing heart and kidney. Until I saw one that says lungs, heart and lungs. I look at her profile, she's in the UK. People are home, they won't even bother because the other person has wrote heart and kidney, they have to rewrite it. But they have 1,000 comments, heart and lungs. Imagine, they were writing heart and kidney. They don't know basic things in Nigeria. And here's somebody trying to teach you free. You come out, you're fucking cursing me. Imagine me going to Instagram, to a post, to put like Wunmi has to do a DNA test on 2 levels. Her blood has to match the crime scene. And then her blood has to also, that boy's blood has to also match Mohbad's whatever. Because I believe what killed Mohbad arose from that child's paternity. I woke up in the morning. My notifications were blowing on Instagram. 549 replies. Funkini. Funkini for what? And what I read, Maduma, she has escaped. She has not taken her medicine. Doctor needs to take you back to Yabale. Because I haven't been on Instagram for 2 years. I opened a new page, 14,000 followers in 2 weeks. They have to take me back to Yabale. Just rubbish. You see how powerful I am? I drop a comment, I get 546 replies from stupid people. Focus. Mohbad took my money, fine, let's forget that. I'm making money out of this docu-series and all this coverage. I've closed the investigation in November, and I tweeted clearly that Mohbad was killed by his wife. If you like, record this space and go and clip it and post it everywhere. Wunmi ló pa Mohbad now. After the party, who was there? Mohbad was there throwing cult signs and everything. When he did the party, somebody came to the stage and threw his hands up, and some people were saying, what if you do back? Àwọn tó ṣe party ò sọ̀rọ̀ dé ni. Àwọn soso bẹ̀rẹ̀ kan àti Cubana chief priest. Wọ́n ò sọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀ ni. Wọ́n fi promote bitters wọn, the general bitters. Wọ́n fi ṣe gbogbo nǹkan táwọn ní láti ṣe. You think somebody cares about you? You better follow me on Facebook and see the motivational videos I'm posting. They're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Kò sẹ́ni tó care about you. People just care about owó táwọn máa make. Ṣé àwọn ti sọ̀rọ̀? Ṣé àwọn ti lọ sọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́pàá? Mo tweet mo ní kí Bella's mother must go and see the police. Police think we are waiting for him. Okay. Mo reason. Mohbad olore now. But ó ti kú. You have no friend in the music industry. Tiwa Savage tọ́mọ yẹn kọrin ní funeral bàbá ẹ̀. Tí Mohbad perform funeral bàbá Tiwa Savage. They need Tiwa Savage to post ordinary job on Mohbad's death. And she has said nothing. These guys are all in a cult, and you do not speak against people in the cult. You keep quiet. Rino Walo interview Naira Marley on mockery, and some critical things were said on Rino and Naira Marley's interview. The video of Bossede and Josie begging Mohbad. There were issues that I pointed to at that time, but none of you focused. Story Kami Olunloyo, because she's a mad woman. I'm not in journalism anymore. You don't call your mom and dad to come and see the label owner because you're having problems with the label. You call a lawyer. Mohbad was taking his parents to Naira Marley. Naira was sitting on a bed like a king, talking to the parents. Instead of the parents sitting down, they were sitting on the ground or bending down or kneeling down. You know, she won't hear one of my bed owner label. You know? Because of her in contracts. Naira Marley invested a lot in Mohbad. I investigated all their assets at Malian Music. And when this boy died, two big American rappers, Little Durk, one of my favorites, and Meek Mill, they tweeted about his death. One Mario, one could tweet about it. But our Meek Mill fans, one day, our fans Meek Mill, America and Ghana. Because he went to Ghana and so many people started following him from there. Little Durk. And if you look at Mohbad's Wikipedia, it says Nigerian singer and rapper and songwriter. All Durk's friends were on Mohbad. Lifetime. Imagine if Mohbad was alive now, all Little Durk's fans. Actually, Little Durk now, and we Little Durk to look back Grammy. Mohbad has a back Grammy now. One cut Destiny off. I repeat, I'm not justice for Mohbad. I want to know who killed Mohbad, and I want that person taken. I know who killed Mohbad, not suffering now. But when we call it Mohbad, Kilo Sonori Sahara Reporters page. I know who killed Mohbad. I know who killed my husband, how he was killed. But I'm afraid to say. If you're afraid to say, then you're a liar. In the body of the story, she said she was scared that they would kill her, that they were threatening her. I know how Mohbad died, but I'm scared because they're threatening me. So they're threatening you. You can't tell us how they killed Mohbad. You know how they killed Mohbad. Why did Mohbad take that boy to the river and try to drown him? We're going to get to that in a minute. Let me go back to the part where the concert ended and Mohbad wanted to stand on top of the sunroof of the car. You know how they stand on top of the sunroof and throwing money to fans and everything? Prime Boy told him it's dangerous because there are enemies around. This was Mohbad's first official concert after he left Malian Music. Supposing Malian Music had some thugs out there with guns and they shot him. That's an easy way to do it. But then he come and drove So, okay, he pulled Mohbad down and Mohbad started punching him. Mohbad was already high on, he likes Molly a lot. Okay, Molly. Molly is MDMA, and they come in colored tablets. He uses that a lot because I spoke to him on that hospital admission tweet. He uses Molly, and he was on alcohol mixed with those degenerate bitters, and he drank all those stuff. He was high, he was incoherent. You heard what the police commissioner Olunloyo, he has now retired. What Olunloyo said on that press conference. He was high, he was incoherent, he was disoriented. Otiyo Odeti were high on drugs. He was drunk and high on drugs. He started punching Prime Boy. Prime Boy pulled him down from that sunroof. And then the car stopped, they came out, continued punching Prime Boy until he punched the car. In the process of Prime Boy avoiding a bloody nose, he avoided, and he ended up punching the car. And the punch of the car went in, it was between the car body and glass. So glass metal hit Mohbad's hand, and Mohbad's hand was bleeding. And the kind of gash Mohbad had in that hand is not a gash you go home and be calling a nurse to treat. You go straight to the hospital, tetanus shot, everything. The police showed us the pictures, they showed us everything. And they went home. And when they got home, is the very critical part of what happened to Mohbad's demise. They rigged him with a cocktail of drugs. Ayobami, the DJ, Spending, was the one that went to the pharmacy with the nurse. The former nurse that they were going to call was away. And they called this one Ogedengbe to come. And as a pharmacist, I saw the list and I watched the press conference live. Many people didn't watch the press conference live because, for one, they didn't know it was live. I watched it live, I made notes, I tweeted on it, and I called Daddy Freeze and said to Freeze, I'm not in the country anymore, but I want you to see this. Freeze was like, oh my God, I missed this. I said, go and watch it at Sahara Reporters link. And Freeze went live that night, and Freeze had me on his show. What did I say on the show? I said he may have died of a drug overdose that collided with one of what those girls gave him, the nurse and his wife. In other words, Molly in your system is not friends with a lot of prescription drugs. Was it only Molly? Could he be on any other thing? Could he be on tramadol? In such an easy way. Now, I did a video saying he contributed to his own death. Yeah. This is where toxicology comes in. If Mohbad was in fact drunk and is on some kind of substance, what did this nurse give? They listed it. There was procaine, there was ceftriaxone antibiotic, there was tetanus, all the drugs that Feisha Ogedengbe brought from the drugstore. This should change pharmacy in Nigeria. Pharmacy is not ready to change. All this self-medication nonsense. And she was an auxiliary nurse, meaning that she had to have a registered nurse with her to administer those kind of drugs. So she was doing that. Miss Ogedengbe was with a good list of drugs. Looking at the list, she had the correct drugs. But those drugs should have been administered in a clinical setting. The reason is because we left that news conference with CP Owonha saying that Mohbad had an anaphylactic reaction. An anaphylactic reaction is a reaction that the whole body reacts to something, the immune system, everything. Let me just give it to you in layman's terms. Anaphylactic reaction is that every part of the body is screaming at the same time. Seizures, vomiting, everything. He reacted to something with that ceftriaxone. So we don't know what was in his system that may have reacted with the ceftriaxone, which is what they call a cephalosporin antibiotic, okay? A cephalosporin antibiotic is not a macrolide antibiotic. You can't understand pharmacy, but I'll bring it to you as easy. This is my In May will be next month, May 5th will be my 35th year that I graduated from pharmacy school. But antibiotics come in 3 different classes. Dr. Panking is here. Welcome, Dr. Panking. I met Dr. Panking yesterday in my DM, discussing the hormonic case with him. Really nice guy. I see a lot of his company and a lot of his write-ups on Twitter. His company works on Instablog and all. Welcome, Dr. Panking. But as a doctor, he would know what I'm talking about, but I want to bring it to you in layman's terms. There are several classes of antibiotics for several infections, okay? Because, I have an infection doesn't mean that Flagyl I will take. Flagyl might not work for that infection. We have broad spectrum, we have narrow spectrum. And we have some called cephalosporins. We have macrolide antibiotics. The mycins, I call them erythromycin, erythromycin, doxycycline, tetracycline. There's so many that are macrolide. There's so many that are cephalosporin. The cephalosporins tend to have these names that start with ceph, or Cisha. Ceftriaxone was one of the big ones in the cephalosporin. Now, if they had Mohbad on a bed with the drips that this girl was given, procaine was in there, procaine G and all that, I came under the freeze and said in September that it was a drug interaction that killed him. That is my own opinion. We don't know until we have a toxicology test. If Mohbad was in a hospital when they were doing all this, he would have lived. You know why? In a clinical setting, the minute he had that reaction, the anaphylactic reaction, we would have given him epinephrine. In America, epinephrine is sold at the chemists to anybody. In the summer now, June is coming now, all these young kids in America, they're going to camp. Camp is like they will go to camp, summer camp. They will go in the hiking, canoeing, all this stuff. All this American we go stuff. Children will go to camps and do stuff. In the park that we park for our children. My children are 37, 33, and 24. But when they were young, I would pack their bags for camp, and there would be a syringe inside that bag called epinephrine, EpiPen. You can Google it, EpiPen, EPI-pen. It looks like a pen. It's a syringe full of epinephrine in case of the bees. The camps and the schools will give you the list of what they need, and EpiPen has to be there. So around June, you just see them coming to the pharmacy. Dr. Kami, all my pharmacy people, I would have told them, my staff, order a case of epinephrine, blah, 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 because they're going to come and buy it for their children. Because if these things you in America, goodness, you want to have an EpiPen fast while they're out in the outdoors. One doctor told me that EpiPen is not marketed in Nigeria, but you can get it at some chemists. If there was an EpiPen in my hand and I was in the car next to Mohbad when he was dying, and I knew I would took him with that EpiPen, it will bring him back to life. That's what EpiPen will do. And this is why the nurse is being kept in custody and charged, because she did not do that job in a clinical setting. If she was in a clinical setting, there would have been a senior nurse, a registered RN there who will supervise everything. And EpiPen is nothing far from the hospital pharmacy. And it would have brought him to life. It's like an iPhone. Everybody's iPhone have reached 2% now. Depends on where you are. When I'm abroad, America, Canada, anywhere I'm outside Nigeria, I will use my phone and use my phone. I will see 5%. I will still be using my phone, working. Because I know there's light in this place 24/7, so I don't have to worry. You will plan it the minute your phone enter 10%. What do I want to do now? I want to go and cook, so let me just go and plug my phone. 2%. 5 minutes after you put that yam on the fire boiling, you go to the room. What is your iPhone going to say? Is it not going to say like 10 or 11%? From 2 to 11 in 5 minutes. Leave it a little bit. The red light would have gone. It would be green now, 25%. That's how EpiPen is. If they had an epinephrine injection there, they would have given it to Mohbad and it would have brought him to 25% of life and possibly back alive to the point of 70%, and he will be talking. but they were not in a clinical setting. What kept them from a clinical setting? They rigged his body with a cocktail of drugs and rushed to bury him. The police report that they needed to take him to the mortuary was denied to them at Ajah. They were very lucky that I've left Nigeria because I lived in Ajah. My dear Ajah police station, my dear DPO, to refuse one because of Mohbad's mother-in-law. Iya Wunmi, a retired police officer, had influence, and nobody's going to tell me what to say because I know. If I was in Nigeria, no police is going to arrest me. No police is going to tell me shit because I was working with the police for 2 weeks. 15th to the 30th, I worked with police and I worked with NDLEA. The fact remains, she influenced that whole police report. A police report, Kabali, Belosi Mortuary in Ikorodu. More funny police report here now. Why? We need to know how he died. We need to know. They slowed it down to the point that they just needed, they needed to just get rid of the body and bury him. Shetiri start on low. Nínú ilé àwọn Wunmi láti rush láti bury ẹ̀. Wọ́n deny wọn ní police report tó wọ́n lè gbé lọ sí mortuary kankan. Wọ́n á rush láti bury ẹ̀. Wọ́n gbé body ẹ̀ dé ibi tó ti fẹ́ bury ilẹ̀ tó pé òun ló ní ilẹ̀ yẹn. Behind one house like that, the man and the neighbors have spoken to everybody. Baálẹ̀ yẹn sọ pé lè sí o. It is too dark at night. Nobody buries at night. It's evil. Come back in the morning. Where was Mohbad's body between that time and the morning? Who cut his neck? What was the stab wound on his neck? What did they take out of his body? Any organs missing? On that morning, wọ́n kàn jí ni wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé lọ bury ẹ̀. Wọ́n á gbé Wunmi wá, ó daṣọ borí, ó ń ṣe fake wọn, ó wá ju aṣọ kan sínú graveyard. Wunmi olórí burúkú. Ọmọ òfò aṣọ tó jù sínú graveyard ọmọ kan wọ́n máa wú bọ́dì Mohbad jáde. The cloth you threw into the graveyard, you know they are going to exhume Mohbad abi? Ọmọ òfò. At the end of the day, they now hurriedly buried Mohbad. And they thought that was the end. They rigged him with a cocktail of drugs. They made sure the DPO didn't give them police report to put him in the mortuary because that could lead to an autopsy and other things. And they quickly buried him. And after they buried him, the celebrities came in because that's how they operate. Yabo and Tonto, the two actresses that never act, that have no record of a good Nollywood career. They run foundations, they run restaurants, they run businesses with money they've made from so many illegitimate sources, affairs with governors, affairs with big people, endorsements, influencing, selling creams, wigs, bleaching creams and stuff. They come in because that's how they operate and fund their lifestyle. They now started their good old fundraiser for Wunmi and Liam. The sympathy mode, Nigerians go into that sympathy mode. I watch them clearly when I tell Nigerians to donate 1,000 naira to me. 1,000 naira. Donate. Beggar, always begging for money. They won't even know what I'm begging for. They won't bother to find out. But when they see Wunmi and Liam, they be donating their whole life. How much was 106 million? Abosede, Mohbad's mother sent to the Punch in the interview that Yabo gave them money. Everybody was given money. They distributed money to all of them. You know how that works now. After Abike Jagaban, what am I supposed to believe? When they were raising money for my medical fundraiser, the one who said I should go and beg Linda Ikeji. All the nonsense that happened at that time. Abike Jagaban ripping me off and all that. Imagine. Don't let anybody ever do a fundraiser for you. That's what they do. If 100 million enters, Tonto will first carry 30 million, Yabo 30. The rest 70, they will say they're buying cars, scared, they're doing this, and they divided to the family. I'm just giving you that as an example. I'm sure they only gave them 40 million, and they kept 60 out of it. Those two women, at the end of the day, nobody said how much they were given, but the mother said to the Punch clearly that everybody got their own share of the money. And Mohbad is inside the mortuary. You are wearing his clothes, Mr. Aloba. You are wearing your son's clothes while your son is inside ice in the mortuary. Why are you wearing his clothes? He gave it to you before he died. Is it now that you want to wear it? You shouldn't be wearing it now. Doesn't he have a younger brother that could wear those clothes? But you decide to wear it. You released a song in tribute to Mohbad. No problem with the song. You're a singer. Your son is a singer. You are chasing clouds all over the place. Your wife went to tell Punch that you are doing juju. You and two women, Darosha's whatever, you and two women that she doesn't like, that you all go to do juju all the time. Everybody's against everybody. People are calling me, Dr. Kami, please work with Mohbad's dad. I don't work with no fucking dad or mom. I don't insert myself to the story. I'm investigating all of them. You go to Oriyomi Hamzat, you misbehave over there. That one said he can't take up your case. You run to Brekete Radio. You run to AIT or something. You run up and down the place and you don't know what to do. The whole family dysfunctional. They're watching my videos. Karimos comes out and starts saying, Mohbad gave Wunmi STD. Karimo, the sister of Wunmi. Karimo called me when I was in America. She called my Airtel line. Maybe they leaked that one during our money case. So everybody had my number. She called my Airtel line and cursed me for a good 5 minutes. She was just laying curse and I was just listening. I didn't say hello, I didn't say hi. And I have a number, which I can post online for people to harass her. But I won't do that because I'm not their standards. And I know her history. So I did a video and said, Karimo, if you don't shut up, I will open your files. Did you see all the videos she's doing for content? Calling Sanwo-Olu's wife to come and help them because Nigerians are bullying Liam and Wunmi. You are calling Sanwo-Olu. What about the day I said in October that I'm going on medical leave because of my health? As soon as they said I'm going on medical leave, what did they do? They paid Mba Day for you. They pay Ruti. They pay all the influencers on Twitter to announce that the DNA has been done and Mohbad is the father. Yabo did that. Paid all the influencers. Influencers, please be careful on Twitter, X, because you are doing bullshit. All of you that posted that stuff in October, the DNA has been done. Mohbad is the father. You were lying and you got money and you did it for fucking money. You all need to stop. Let Nigerians know the truth. Now, Nigerians, what I want to tell you is the concept of DNA. DNA stands for diribonucleic acid, and then RNA. RNA and DNA is the component that makes us who we are. When you have a doppelganger, you know what a doppelganger means? A person that looks like another person. They're not related, they just look like another person. There's many of them like that in the world. When you have a doppelganger, even your doppelganger's DNA is not directly linked to you. Fingerprints, not directly linked to you. That's the only thing that separates A from B. That's the only thing that separates Kami Olunloyo from anybody else. You cannot see my fingerprints out there. My fingerprints are unique to me. And this is why they use it for biometrics and immigration. If you do your fingerprints at driver's license, if you do it at immigration, if you do it at visa, your fingerprints is your fingerprint. Nobody else has your fingerprints. God is bigger than man. You are the only one that has that fingerprint. There is a drug in America that erases fingerprints, but it's not a drug for anybody. Even the criminals have tried to get hold of that drug. They can't because we kill them. It's a cancer drug. If you don't have cancer, you go and take a cancer drug. What will happen to you? We'll kill you now. The patients using that cancer drug, many of them had no fingerprints. And it's a side effect of the drug. So as they came out in immigration and all those kinds of places to travel, they had problems with travel. The fingerprints were not registering. We used to do fingerprints with ink. You put your hands on ink. You will not slam it bam on one paper. That ink day in the ink days was crazy because when you finish that fingerprint, if you don't use that chemical that they give you to rub that ink off, your hands will be purple for like days. Now we don't do ink anymore. We have that glass thing now. You put your hands inside. The computerized biometrics. Time has changed though. And that's why I'm a very big educator. They say my father is a genius. My father says I'm more genius than him. I know that. My IQ is 207, and I just did it with a psychologist. 207 is a genius. You can't compare me to Einstein. If you say my IQ is higher than Einstein, I'm shaking, I'm bragging. Yes, it's higher. Who is Einstein? When did Einstein die? 1969, right, in New Jersey. Einstein did not even see fax machine. He didn't see fax now. Some of you are young, you don't even know what a fax machine is. You put a paper inside a machine. You dial the phone number, it will show up in the other person's fax. What you threw through that machine. Do you know what technology did that? Einstein didn't see fax, not to talk of internet. He didn't see fax, he didn't see internet. We'll be wondering when are we going to be talking to people on the phone? When are we going to be smelling food cooking on the television, smelly vision? Well, we're talking to people on the phone now. We have FaceTime. All these technologies were not there. If you're in your 40s or 50s, go and ask your parents, 1978. Those are the 40-year-old people. The people in the 70s and 60s, go and ask your parents. You were kids during the Biafran War. You sat down on TV watching the Nigerian army slaughter people, and you were filming it. Every armed robber that was caught by Nigerian police was executed on a Saturday at Bar Beach in Lagos. The Bar Beach show. It was a TV show. You will see that at 10 o'clock, you'll be watching Nigerian police kill people. They will tie them to the drums and they will open fire and be shooting. Things have happened in Nigeria, around the world, technology. If you are watching TV, how did you change the TV? Did you not go to the TV? Your mom and dad had a TV, you were lucky. And that TV was black and white. There was no color TV in 1973. I was 9 years old. Today I'm 59 years old. I will be 60 in 3 months. In 1973, there was no color TV. Black and white. You now sit and crowd around and be watching that black and white TV. Baba Salah, comedy. Today na skit maker. Village headmaster, drama. Today na show. You want to go to that television and your father will tell you, please go and up the volume. Because your phone, your landline phone was ringing. Prrr, prrr. Everybody likes to get phone calls on the landline. One phone in the entire house. No cell phone, no. Nothing like that. So when that phone is ringing, your daddy will tell you, go and lower that TV. You will go towards that TV and you go and lower that TV with your hands. That TV is dark. That picture is dark. Make it lighter. The button was there. Somebody out of all of you in that family will go to that TV and make it lighter. Somebody has to go to that TV. By 1978, 79, 80, when CNN arrived in 1980, they had now turned technology. Be telling your younger ones about technology. And don't rubbish them. They have now created this thing that will talk to the TV instead of you going there. One pastor used it as a sermon yesterday. I said, when you need to do something, you usually will go and ask for it. Continually going to ask for it. You don't just go through channels that will do it for you all the time. When it comes to God, God is not a remote control. I do some evangelism on Facebook on Sundays. If you want to talk to God, talk to God. Go to him. You see that corner of your parlor? Look at the roof of the corner of your parlor and talk to him up there. Wherever you want, go to God. Don't use somebody to get there. That's the concept with the remote control. God is not a remote control. By 1980, when CNN came and that plane crash happened, the one with KLM and Panam, 747 that crashed in Tenerife, that was the biggest story that year. Tenerife, go and Google it. Tenerife air crash, Spanish Sahara. By that year, we now had this thing called remote control. They made you buy another TV that had a remote control. You couldn't just buy remotes. You had to go and invest in another TV. So you carry your black and white TV inside bedroom, and the new TV arrived, colored TV arrived with remote control. You're like, daddy, I don't have to get up again to go and put the volume up or down. I just press it on the button on the remote control. Lightness, darkness, volume, everything there. So that thing, remote control, was communicating to your television instead of you. So I'm comparing that to the real life that we are in now. And going back to Mohbad, that is the reason why we need that DNA, because there's a lot of money involved. And I'm counting. Nobody's counting. I'm counting. The last time I did a write-up as a counting, people stole my write-up and plagiarized it and made it their own. And I can't call 20 blogs. So I left it for everybody. They just forgot to. They omitted my name and it started from one blog. As of today, the 18th of April 2024, Mohbad's assets has passed 3 billion. I'm counting the streams and the downloads, and what I'm seeing, we had a period there that the exchange rate. Oluomo, how are you? Welcome, Oluomo, one of my favorite Londoners on Twitter Spaces. Dr. Penkin, you are back. One of the most important things, people, about, and I want to explain it to you quietly, how these musicians make money. I've told you about the skit makers, and Lord Lamba and all that, and macaroni and all that. Money, what no skits a job. I've done Instagram monetization. I've done Twitter monetization. Throughout January to March, I taught Facebook monetization and I also taught YouTube monetization. The people that had the money paid. One day I even did it for 10K, 5K. I lost money, but I still taught people. This is easy money. And I did a video when Tinubu was sworn in, saying that they must talk to these social platforms to monetize Nigeria. 3 videos. They watch my video in the presidency and they act on it. What do I get? I don't get anything back. What ideas me on similar appointment? Gbogbo wọn fi ṣe iṣẹ́ tiwọn. And I woke up one day and I saw the former vice president of UK. Oluomo is here. Kí lẹ̀ ń pè? Deputy Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Is now the Facebook global president or something. And he came to Nigeria to see Tinubu, and they're going to monetize Instagram in June. And I quickly taught Instagram monetization again. You cannot lose out on monetization. The #1 monetized person on YouTube in Nigeria is making $300,000 every month. $300,000 anyway. Yesterday alone, I made $264 on YouTube. Just for people watching my video, $264. Small girl, let me now. Me, you want YouTube all the time, but Yoruba, I'm finishing video, I'm about $264 a day. By the end of the week, 1,000 something. By the end of the month, I'm about $10,000. Go and learn monetization. Jerry Eze is making $300,000 a month on YouTube. #2, Mark Angel, $150,000 with Emanuela. Why was I not making that money when I was in Nigeria? Some things were not monetized when I was in Nigeria. #2, I wasn't on YouTube for 2 years. So much has been going on. And I wasn't online during the 2021-2022 time due to the money case. I took off. So at the end of the day, Mohbad streams. I told you that monetization because I want to explain the streams to you. When you open an account called DistroKid or TuneCore as an artist, it's a distribution service, music distribution service. Those services, what they do, okay, my son is an artist, upcoming artist, underground rapper, Rich KJT. Rich KJT opened DistroKid. You can open TuneCore if you want. Many Nigerians use TuneCore, others use DistroKid. If you have DistroKid, $20 is what you need. TuneCore too is like $20, but TuneCore gives you opportunity to use your Nigerian card. Distro won't take the Nigerian card anymore. You have to use an American card or somebody that can use it for you. So you open that account, and there's an area where you upload all your music. You upload all your music. You have an EP, you upload all your music in the EP. Then when you upload your music, in 24 hours, this is what I love about technology. In 24 hours, your music is distributed to Apple Music. If you go to Apple Music, Rich KJT is there. If you type Rich KJT Music now on Google, you will see my son's profile. You will see, it will build you a Google profile that looks like Wikipedia. That's the beginning. A Google profile, Rich KJT, musician. You will now see Rich KJT Apple Music, Rich KJT Boomplay, Rich KJT Spotify, Rich KJT Audiomack, Rich KJT Shazam. Every distribution service, Google Play, Amazon Music, your music is there. And when people start listening to your music, you start making money. Streams count. Streaming means someone is listening, they don't want to buy yet, they're just listening. Yoruba people, wọ́n kàn fi ń gbádùn. Mo fẹ́ lọ ṣe rice, jollof rice, mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ dín chicken lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Jẹ́ kí n stream music ọmọ mi. That's what I do. I use Boomplay. I love Boomplay. My son himself uses Apple Music. Some of you like Audiomack. Okay. When I first left Nigeria, I was living at one Airbnb when I went to work in Ghana during my birthday, last year's birthday. You guys remember I was in Ghana. The Airbnb had another Airbnb that they were constructing next to it, and the builders are the same builder. So every morning when I wake up, the building guy, young guys building the building, they will greet me, good morning, mommy. I say hi. They will be hearing my music. They say, who is that? I say, it's called Rich KJT. It's actually my son is in America. So some of those builder boys, they will now look in their phone and they will add him to Audiomack. The Ghanaians like Audiomack. So as they take the Audiomack, I think you can download it to your device or something, but they were enjoying that boy's music. That is called music marketing. And I did a whole 2 hours about it. I did a free music seminar on Facebook, and people still abuse me and disrespect me. 2 hours free. Something we're going to charge you 20,000 for in Nigeria in a seminar. Aloma DMW and I wanted to do a music seminar before I left. We didn't get to it. Pandemic. Tanijeka charge everybody in 20K. Come and learn how to do music. Aloma used to work at Davido's aid and started his own thing, AMW, Aloma Music World. But now you can do everything online. Zoom, one bay, Google, one bay. So at the end of the day, I did it 2 hours online. Music marketing. One artist is out there on Instablog Nigeria, paying Instablog 268,000 for a post. And the post is just to abuse Kata Efe because Kata Efe did not promote his music run. Stop giving your music to comedians, skit makers, and influencers. Market your music. Stop promoting your music. What's the difference? The difference is you are promoting music in Nigeria. You are giving people money to put it on their viral pages. You are giving 400,000 to promote your music. People will look at the post, they will go to the next post fast. They're not interested in your music. Look at the music post on Tunde Ednon's way. How many comments do they get? Do they get 3,000, 4,000? No, they get 26 comments. Same on Instablog. Stop promoting your music. Market your music. So now your music is on Apple Music, Spotify, everything, through DistroKid or through TuneCore. When it's on there, somebody might listen to your song so much. They will now say, mo like orin yo. Mo like orin yo, just download it. $1 is how much you need to download music. $1. And when $1 was 700 or 500, Apple Music did not give you that rate. They had one simple rate, 1,000 naira. And this is what I like about Apple Music. Apple Music gave the rate as 1,000 naira. Remember when pandemic was here that I was marketing my son's music, I said, download 1,050 naira. Download the track. So that was the best time that we made money. My son made money during the pandemic because people were downloading and they were paying. If it's always my wallet here now, it's not if you keep promoting, you will now be going to, people will be going to Lekki Loaded, Niger Loaded, they'll be going and downloading your music there, they're not paying you. Because the artist has given Lekki and Niger Loaded money. That's how it works. The artists, Davido, Wizkid, Burna, all of them, they will pay those ones 300,000. Give them the music. Those ones will post them on the website, you will be downloading it for free. They can afford to do that. Take Burna out of that list. Sorry, it was Davido and Wizkid I was referring to and other artists. Burna didn't do that. Burna marketed his music by giving it on Apple Music to foreign crowds. And when you touch the foreign crowd will download and buy your music. Downloading means buying. Streaming means listening. And that's the mistake Tiwa Savage got. Tiwa Savage was giving the loaded people. That's why she's never had a Grammy nomination. And you need X amount of streams and sales to be eligible for the Grammys. This year's Grammy is going to be very interesting because this is the first one, actually second one. The second one where your streams doesn't count. Your followers on Instagram and everywhere doesn't count. What counts is what the judges heard to their ear. So I'm sending monetary affection for a Grammy nomination, since this is the new rule now. You heard what Harvey Mason said, the CEO of the Grammy. He said, we are not interested in your streams and your followership. What we're interested in is what the judges heard to their ears. Look at the people that won the Grammys this year. The category Davido and Burna were nominated for, they didn't win it. Look at the bands that won it. One particular band had 3,000 followers on Twitter. After the nominations came, I went to their page, 3,000 followers, and they have not posted since 2022. Can you shock me now? So now any of you can enter your music. That's Sheyi vibe. Somebody should tell its people. That one is very underrated, very good music. I was listening to music like this, Deja Vu. I said, where is this music not nominated for anything? Some people don't even know they can enter. Grammy is free for all now. So someone like Mohbad now, he died on the 13th. The deadline for the Grammys was 15th. If Nigerians had been respectful to Naira Marley, it could have been a different story we are looking at now. There were 2 days left to send in your nomination entry. On the 13th. If I was Mohbad's manager, I would have quickly entered his music. His streams shot up. His downloads went up. And he would have got nominated. And would probably win something. But Nigerians were there abusing Naira Marley, cursing Naira Marley and everything. So, Little Dirk posting Mohbad, okay? Little Dirk posting Mohbad, Meek Mill posting Mohbad, shut up everything for Mohbad. My goodness, it was incredible. The money was a lot. Do you know that song called Peace? Everything Mohbad did at Malian Music, it still belongs to Malian Music. But before he died, he took his songwriting royalties and publishing. He took his songwriting royalties and streams. Before you put your hand on the contract, know what you are signing. The songwriting royalties and streams was 350 million naira. I got all the figures internally through sources. Got to forget our numbers. One lo jello wo. Naira Marley owed Mohbad songwriting and streaming. The songwriting royalties was because Mohbad was the writer at Malian Music. All the songs they were singing in Malian Music, he was the writer. He had that talent. He was the songwriter for Malian Music. So where is that money? By the time I got to the money and interrogated people in the label and others, they had paid him the money right before he died, 325 million. Mohbad Lorale. One stupid woman on Facebook, who is Wumi's friend, started saying Kami Olunloyo is lying. Mohbad didn't buy any house. This is my house. I loaned him to him. I rented it to him. He ran on back. They were lying. Now, last month, a video now surfaced of Mohbad doing a FaceTime call with another friend saying, I just bought my house, everything. They were disgraced, and I called them out. You want to cover everything? He had just bought a house. He was getting ready to buy an SUV, which was about 50 million. You saw him at the dealership. You saw him open his phone. When he opened his phone, he was opening his bank app to make payments for the dealership. You saw him doing all this stuff. And he opened his own record label. I was the one that went to get his CAC papers, and I posted it. In Monetization Records, I posted everything. The only thing I blacked out was the address of the label and Sheyi's information. The manager's information was there as the number 2 person. This boy had readied his life to start. And he made a music video wearing all white, telling you that he doesn't smoke anymore, he doesn't drink anymore. It's fresh, white, nice, new life, everything. He had it together, house, car, everything. Till today, we have not found the phone. Iboni iPhone, Mohbad wa mumi. Where is the phone? The phone that was playing that WhatsApp message that Mohbad said, Tingokoba Shemi Timbaku Yama Jegon. We have never found Mohbad's phone. And part of the police investigation should be somebody going to the banks, somebody goes to WhatsApp. Encrypted messages and all that. That's bullshit. Was it not me that went to get the messages for Bamishe's phone? When Bamishe was killed in a bus by a BRT driver. If you're a journalist and you are listening, learn how journalism is done. If you go to Instagram, on Twitter, on X, go to Instagram's page on X, you will see something in the bio. Okay, maybe they've changed it now, but on the bio, it used to say journalists and law enforcement on deadline. Contact this email. If you're on deadline, you are working on a story and you're law enforcement, you're a journalist, you need that email, somebody will answer you right away. It's the same on WhatsApp, especially law enforcement and journalists who are investigating. You can get WhatsApp messages when it's involving a murder or a criminal investigation. That's how I got Bamishe's last WhatsApp messages now. And it went viral all over the internet. The girl was saying clearly that the bus driver had fancied her. And now he's turning the lights off. He's turning somewhere. Before you know it, we didn't hear from her again. She was dead. We have that. And they're going to use it in the court trial when that comes. It's been 2 years now. No autopsy for Bamishe yet. Imagine. You will get justice. Sanwo-Olu and his wife. 8 years of rubbish. So at the end of the day, a journalist can retrieve those things. They won't give it to you. They'll give it to a journalist that's established. All they do is they look at my profile. They see my name, journalist, and they see all my verified accounts and all my work. You need it, you need it. The police did not go and do their job like Toronto police. Toronto police. I was a volunteer for Toronto police. Where I was the one that was always calling Facebook legal department. Now, Facebook owns Instagram. Now, Facebook owns WhatsApp. Meta legal departments. Nigerian police doesn't do all that. And you say you know your forensic job. Was it not me that solved the BOMI case? When we found out the phone number that actually sent that news tip to me was coming from Iyabo Ojo's NGO phone, meaning that her PA was the one that sent it because she holds the phone. By now, they should have found out where Mohbad's phone is. By now, they should have subpoenaed his bank records because that's where the bank app is. If anybody is withdrawing money from that bank, they'll be withdrawing it from Mohbad's phone if they know the password. Wunmi is complicit in every area of this case. The police now botched the case. Owonga now conveniently retired, the same way Odumosu conveniently retired during the Oromoni one. And then they told Iyabo Ojo, the case is no longer in our hands. It has gone to the DPP. Onigbanjo and Co. I grew up with Onigbanjo. Okay, these are people I actually grew up with when I was young in Ikoyi. Onigbanjo and Co. over there at the DPP's office, they are not talking to any celebrity. The celebrities fucked the whole thing up. Tonto and Iyabo. Iyabo did a video this morning. I responded to her, abusing Bukky Jesse. Bukky Jesse went and opened GoFundMe for Mohbad'sfather so that they can raise money for a new son. What happened to Falana? I warned you that he's a useless lawyer. What happened to him? What has he done? Why is the inquest stalled? Where's Naira Marley and Sam Larry not at the inquest? You said they're going to testify. Sam Larry, Naira Marley, and what's that boy? Prime Boy. These guys have nothing to do with Mohbad's death. They had given Mohbad his money, he has carried his money, he has gone amicably, but you have to go back, start bringing all these videos. When Mohbad petitioned the police in Ajah, when he said that they were harassing him, they were bullying him, the petition went through. The police officer that sat down there that morning waiting to talk to all parties told me that he sat there and waited and Mohbad did not show up. Sam Larry showed up, Naira Marley showed up, Mohbad did not show up. He didn't show up because why? He may have been scared to be in front of them. He might change his mind, but he didn't show up. They did their job. So what do you do when somebody petitions you and they didn't show up? You close the case. Something worse happened, but does it relate to his death after a nightclub, after a concert? A debut concert of his own career, Is it related? This is what the police has to do. So Showore and his group came out, Revolution Now. They did a press conference in Lagos. And I agree with them that the police botched the case. Hey, take Parishenyo, Nigerian police. Okay, investigative journalist, 59 years on sọ fún yín pé ìyàwó ẹ̀ ló pa. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ lórí step nígbà tó lórí step? Beluda Rosha. That's the key to how Mohbad died. What happened on top of the steps when they were arguing over that Canadian visa? When Mohbad's hand was already injured and they were getting ready to call a nurse and they weren't going to the hospital, what happened on top of the steps during that fight? Did Wunmi throw that bottle at Mohbad? That broken bottle, was it in her hands? Why is Mohbad's auntie ringing the bell at Iyabo Ojo, cursing Tonto and Iyabo's children, saying they're the ones that will use the casket she brought? This case has ramifications around the world. Let me tell you something. Some of you are opening your lives and your children to generational curses with this Mohbad case. What happened on top of that steps? What happened when the argument came over the Canadian visa? Who threw that broken bottle? Who stabbed Mohbad on the neck with that broken bottle? Who lacerated his neck? Because that autopsy was ready on September 21st, and Hyundai, as in the spokesman to the Lagos State, he announced it, and they're waiting for toxicology test. Some of us have seen that autopsy. We have our own cult, so okay, we have our own cults. CULT cult, journalist cult. Let me explain how that works to you. Journalist cults, we don't do juju, we don't do any funny thing. No normal public person is allowed. No politician, nobody. We are a group of journalists that have a major secret WhatsApp group. Okay? Have you seen Facebook groups where it will say secret group, closed group, nobody can come in, nobody can go out, and it can't be shown on Facebook that the group exists? That's what I mean. We're a group of journalists that have sensitive shit. The document articles people gave Samuel Ogundikpe to leak about who is really sponsoring Boko Haram, which caused Premium Times to be surrounded by DSS and their editor's house. And Samuel Ogundikpe had to leave Premium Times and flee to America and ran his own thing called People's Gazette. You don't know this story. This document is what cost Atiku the presidency. This is the document that caused friction between Wike and Atiku, that Wike now decided to leave PDP and go all out for Atiku. The G something governor, G5 governor. Politics Nigeria are dangerous. Most suffering thing. And this is what happened, that Wike laid siege on Atiku. Because that document is so fucking sensitive. I saw it. And that document came out of Wike's office when Wike was working for Jonathan as Minister of Education. The documents about the girls, that they must not go and take that WAEC, they must not go anywhere, because there's incredible information that Boko Haram is coming to kidnap all those girls. And Shetima was there. He ignored the documents. Shetima ignored the document, and the girls went and they kidnapped all the girls. 10 years now, on my father's birthday, this past Sunday, April 14th, my dad is now 89. 10 years now, and they're still saying that. Amnesty is still saying there's 1,000 girls missing. That's what caused Atiku's demise in being president. I wouldn't say Wike blackmailed him, but who is the vice president today? Is it not Shetima that disobeyed Wike when Wike was Minister of Education for state? People start educating young people. Because when this thing happened 10 years ago, a 25-year-old today was 15 years old, and they were not looking at the news. Start educating people what happened 10 years ago in Nigeria. And this is the reason. If I'm telling a 23-year-old now that Wike was Minister of Education for state, they say, no, I didn't know, I was 13. Tell them there's a genesis to this. Atiku needs to, I don't do politics and I don't report it. Atiku needs to even stay away from the Nigerian presidency. And that journalist cannot enter Nigeria again. And not only did he flee to America, okay, the woman that sent the information to the journalist was killed. I hope you know, the woman that died in Aso Rock, that they say Yahoo boys killed her. No Yahoo boys killed her. She was eliminated. These are like CIA kind of stuff. They eliminated her fast, because somebody paid her money to give that information. to the journalist. The newspaper where the journalist was working was surrounded by DSS. The editor of the place was surrounded by DSS. The journalist went underground, found his way out of Nigeria, opened his own journalist thing in New York. And then Buhari told MTN, Airtel, and all the telecoms to ban him. In other words, they can't reroute People's Gazette, unless they back up with VPN. I hope I just told you a big secret now that you didn't know. You need to know how the world works and how Nigerian works. Let's go back to Mohbad. The fight happened on top of the steps. And so our secret journalistic cult group, where I call cult, we saw the autopsy. We looked at it. Nobody downloads. There's rules, though. Just like your other cults out there, there's rules. Brotherhood, journalistic hood, whatever you want to call it. Nobody can download for your eyes only. But that woman came out, Mohbad's hands, praying and ringing the bell and cursing Yabo and Tontos. And then next thing you know, I'm getting this message coming in from Olakunle Churchill, Dr. Olakunle Churchill. And he's telling me all this stuff. He wants me to talk to his mother. From London, he called me. Mommy Ekason, Churchill's mother and grandmother talked to me. They are still alive. The grandma is almost 90. The mother is almost 80. And I was talking to them. Adura Langba. But internet last about 2 elderly women. They said they are stuck on the internet watching everything. Because of the generational cost that Tonto is inviting for their child. Tonto's son is Churchill's son. Churchill has not seen his son since 1 year old. They gave him joint custody with Tonto. Tonto has not let him see the child. They're still fighting it in court now. But when a woman comes and ringing the bell and cursing Yabo and Tonto's children, saying that they are the ones that will sleep in the casket they bought, and the woman says, I'm Mohbad's, Talogun Mohbad lorun, Talogun lorun. That was the first clues Nigerians didn't pay attention to. The woman said somebody stabbed Mohbad. The very information we saw in the autopsy. Because the doctor that did the pathology saw the laceration in Mohbad's neck. Who stabbed Mohbad in the neck? Wunmi threw a broken bottle during the argument over the visa. Mohbad tried to drown Liam at a river because Wunmi had been having sex with other men. The father said he put drugs inside the Indomie, benzodiazepines, Valium, diazepam, which will make you sleep. And then she'll go out to do hookups. We saw the song that Mohbad sang with another artist, lighting up the transformer in Lekki, having sex with everyone. And on my live yesterday on YouTube, some of you are saying she had an affair with a king in Lagos. So there's so many people that could own that child. And the fight really started in April of 2023. My investigation goes to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And there's a guy in that UAE. Okay, I've mentioned Mudam's name many times. Mudam is not a Nigerian. He's a UAE boy, Arab boy. He's friends with the top Nigerians. And when I say friends with the top Nigerians, the Obi Kubanas, the Josh Poppies, the big Nigerians. Mudam is a crypto guy. When this fight over this DNA happened and this girl was pregnant, after sleeping with the entire Malian house, which she was forced to sleep with because she was the one that was fingered as the snitch to the NDLEA. Cult rituals require her to sleep with everybody in the house. She knows that I've been calling her that from day one. So if it's a ritual, she did it. So who is the owner of the pregnancy? A sample of DNA was taken out of Wunmi while she was pregnant. And Mudam said he will sponsor it. I will get tests done. I will do this. I don't know who went to Dubai. Dubai does not let Nigerians enter, but some of them have British passports. Normally for one has one. But at the end of the day, that DNA test, okay, I stopped posting DNA tests because it's not for public consumption. It can affect a child's life. You saw what happened with the Adeleke one. When I posted the DNA of Anu Adeleke. And the girl said, this is not the DNA of my daughter. They altered it. Davido had a brand envelope and gave it to the Lebanese doctor. All those things that changes the life of a child. Anu was 5 years old. Now she's 10. They bully her in school. They've been bullying her. Davido is not your dad, Joe. Davido, do you know what that can do to a child? And what did I say on my DNA test that I saw? They said Sam Larry is the dad. If they in fact all slept with her. What did Sam Larry do? He replied me on Instagram story. Did you not follow it? Auntie Kemi, èmi kọ́ ni mo bí Liam o, àwọn ọmọ tèmi wà nílé o. Auntie Kemi, I'm not the father of Liam. I'm sure you can Google and find it. I have my own children. So now what do? You were there when I was posting Liam versus Sam Larry and the resemblance and this and that. And a DNA test I told you that was done in Dubai. You don't have to go to a country to do a DNA test. You can take a sample. They took a sample in utero. So if you erase all that, it becomes what? Let's do a fresh new DNA test on 2 levels. A Nigerian police officer who refuses for me to mention his name. And that's how investigative journalist works. Said he was the first to get to the house. And there was a bloody blanket. Everyone has heard of a bloody blanket. Ibo lejeyen ti wa. Ibo lejeyen ti wa. She won't dissect Mohbad nínú ilé yìí. A woman came around me. She said, Davido brought Mohbad's kidney and paid 2 million for it and gave the money to his dad. Okay, Davido gave the father 2 million. Nothing unusual to pay somebody 2 million because they lost their child. For funeral expenses and whatnot. Nothing wrong with Davido giving the father 2 million. Then the father came out and said, I didn't get 2 million. Rocha gave me 1 million. Amongst themselves. Then the woman came out and said, Davido took Mohbad's kidney. And then when you hear that, you think the woman is crazy, which people call that. Okay, you think the woman is crazy. The father collected money. And then you see the Punch interview last month with Mohbad's mother saying that the father does juju. And you hear that, you go back to the kidney business and the Davido business. And all these people have not talked. Not Soso Berekon, not Davido, not Cubana Chief Priest and his beaters and all the sponsors. None of them have talked. Davido has done his part. Davido came from America and attended the vigil. So there's just so much that the police needs to do. And the police says they've invited A, B, C, and D, and only A showed up. We invited X, Y, Z, and only Z showed up. Who killed Mohbad? Was he killed in a rage, in an accident? So we know that there was a laceration in Mohbad's neck. Churchill's family are praying day and night. The little boy, Tonto's son, every time that one will ring that bell and say, the mother of Olakunle Churchill and the grandmother, they just throw their hands around their head. I renounce that. I renounce that. Adura. A whole family in London is praying for this boy because of the generational curses that Tonto is inviting for the boy because of this Mohbad case. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. Tonto and Iyabo are doing this for their own money. They're doing it to fund their own lifestyle. They're not interested in Mohbad. Iyabo was well aware that Mohbad was being bullied. She said Mohbad told him. Mohbad was in a skit featuring Iyabo, and Mohbad told him. Paulo, a music promoter who is dating Iyabo Ojo, also said that he was the one that planned the Manchester tour, the London gig for Mohbad. Okay, they've had the Lagos gig now. He died after that, but the London gig. Paulo said Mohbad discussed the bullying and everything. Why didn't Paulo and Iyabo go to the authorities? It may not have been their position to. They may not have wanted to get involved. Maybe that's why they didn't go to the authorities. However, they had information that could have saved Mohbad's life in the respect of the bullying part. But now we're looking at the bullying part, which people should have been prosecuted for. The people accused of the bullying were invited by police and they showed up, and Mohbad didn't show up. So let's leave that part. The part now is that who killed him? They now posted Prime Boy on a poster. You're wanted. You're wanted because you were there and you were the one fighting him when he punched the car. If you want to punch my face and get me a bloody nose and you miss and you punch a knife sticking out of a kitchen rack, that's your wahala. I'm not responsible for that. So Prime Boy gets into the car of TVC and does an interview with TVC and leaks some very damaging thing on Wunmi. And then he walks into the police station and turns himself in and is detained for a month. And then he's given bail and he's gone. Then they rearrest him again. And then he writes that, "You are telling police to harass me, rearrest me, Wunmi. The world will hear soon about what happened to your boyfriend." Everybody saw the post on Prime Boy's Instagram 4 weeks ago. What happened to your boyfriend? Not husband, boyfriend. See that parlor wedding that they said they did, traditional, whatever. I guess Wunmi is not technically, legally, officially married to Mohbad. Let's leave that part. But Prime Boy has information that's very detrimental to this. So, Oluoma, I'm going to bring you in shortly. I'm going to wrap up and then let you all talk. I literally told you what I investigated. On the 30th of September, I ended my investigation and I submitted my findings to police. 6 months later, people are saying, "Oh, Kami Olunloyo, stupid woman, mad woman. The police should invite you." Rubbish. Police don't invite me. I help them with the shit. At the end of the day, I thanked Mariwa. We cleared the NDLA part. The bottle of water they gave Mohbad was a bottle of cocktail of detox drugs. When you go to detox, you have to drink a concoction. And then it will detox your body. You will shit, you will vomit, you will do that for 3 days. It's very painful. Detox is very painful. But that's what Mohbad was describing, what they give him at the NDLA and all that. Remember when he was describing this stuff, it wasn't coherent because they had just hit his head with rocks and, not rocks, bats, and so they had a fight show. Him and his producer were beating up there at the Malian house. And people are now focusing on something that happened in October of 2022. They're focusing on him when he had died. And then the celebrities, the actresses made it look like the NDLA just actually poisoned Mohbad. They twisted the whole narrative. Mariwa was not in Nigeria when all this was happening. And when he heard, he was pissed off. Let me just say this to you. Nobody has said it to you. Shinshini, you know what I mean, Shinshini? You know what I mean by Shinshini? Small, tiny, small chance like this, Yabo and Tonto would have been locked up. Did you know that? If not for somebody at the DSS. Shout out to Chris. That's all I'm going to say. Shout out to Chris. If not for somebody at the DSS, Mariwa will not let anybody rubbish his name. Mariwa was watching Tonto DK posting all over saying that the NDLA poisoned Mohbad. The DSS almost picked up Tonto DK. When the DSS picks you up, you know you're not coming out for 2 years. Minimum 1 year, 2 years. It's not EFCC, it's not police, it's not VDM. We're talking about DSS, Department of State Security, Homeland Security. You go and defame the chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency saying that he poisoned Mohbad. Tonto could have been waiting in that DSS for the next 2-3 years now. Chini by anyone about to arrest girl. You have to be very careful. So I submitted my findings and I tweeted it. When we killed Mohbad, I tweeted it like what, 50 times. I spammed it on one tweet. And let somebody come and arrest me now. Nonsense. Okay, we'll continue finding our findings. That's what the police said. You know me, I don't have time. I was expecting her to call her lawyer and have me petition, arrested, defame, all that nonsense. Nothing happened. There are keys to the story that you don't know. Mohbad's streams, Mohbad's downloads, Mohbad's music assets have now exceeded 3 billion in Naira, something close to like $750,000. Even though the royalties on the songwriting Naira Marley has given Mohbad that money, close to 330 million. They've closed the deal on the royalty. The streams are on 2 levels. The album called Blessed that Mohbad did has a lot of streams, and the only person that has access to that money is Sheyi. That's why they're all nice to her. She's the only one that has access. Because if you know you're a musician and you know how streaming works, your check comes every month in dollars. I heard a rumor, I don't know how true, and I can't verify that the account is frozen, but I don't know. But what has happened is that Peace by Mohbad, and what's that other song? Oh, anything that Mohbad did in Malian music, the amounts of streams have gotten very high. So there's a whole lot of billions in Malian music right now. And I said something on my video that I did this morning that I saw Naira Marley's daughter. One of Naira Marley's twin girls was doing a video. It's an old video from maybe last year. And the girl was standing there with a British accent and said, "My dad has more money than your dad." And I heard that the video was done to shade Davido's daughter, Imadi. "My dad has more money." I'm looking at the girl like this with big teeth and everything. She has gap teeth and she's big. And I'm like, hey, Ewomo, you're pushing sorrow. In 20 years' time, Ile has to be 27. Lo majoko Somalian musical. In 20 years' time, this one will be 27 years old, sitting in front of the desk at Malian music and determining who gets what. Okay? And determining who gets what. Big Low, don't get my attention. You can put your thumbs down all you like. I don't care. You got to look at the future and the bigger picture. I hate stupid people. I'm looking at a 7-year-old who's saying my dad has money than your dad. Who is Naira Marley in 20 years' time? In 20 years' time, that girl will be 27. Naira Marley can die in an accident today. Even Kami Olunloyo speaking can die. Let me see, I just cleaned my fan up in there. I have a ceiling fan here. I put my shoes on. I said, I must not be electrocuted. Even though the fan is turned on, you don't know when electricity will enter anywhere. Anyone can die anytime. These kids are going to be the one running the shit. You want to see Liam standing in front of that girl? Liam will be 18 years old, 20 years old. Let me see, that one will be 27. Liam will be like 20. Trying to claim royalties for his father's music, if it's really his father. What kind of nonsense is that? Is that what you want for your own children when you are gone? You must sort it out now. Liam must say, this is my DNA. The man called Mohbad was my father, and I want to collect money. Nigerians and your stupid daft mentality. Big love. Don't come on my show and be putting thumbs down anywhere. It's a free show. Anybody can put thumbs up or thumbs down. But listen to what I'm saying very carefully. I was outside the club. We were coming from the Soul Train Music Awards, going to Didi's party, the after party. My Didi documentary is coming, by the way, if you want to see it. Everything they're saying about Didi is a lie. I've done the documentary. I just have to edit and post it. You go to YouTube, Kemi Talks. Nobody must miss it because I attended a lot of those parties. Any party that Didi was having, there has to be a journalist in the house because we covered it now for entertainment news. I was standing there, me and Tiffany. We came out of the car. We entered the hall for the party. 16 shots. We looked back. It was Notorious B.I.G. They were arriving. The bullets went straight through the door of his car. And that's how they killed Biggie that night. March 9th, 1997. I was there. Christopher just had a little boy with Faith Evans. That boy is now 20-something years old. Biggie's son has the publishing, every right. We didn't even have Spotify, Audio Mac, all those things. Publishing rights, streams, downloads. Some of Biggie's songs are still there now. Because they treated it correctly, the way it should be. If you don't treat it correctly, Didi will have the hand on all those things. Didi released the publishing rights to the child. So people can't get their publishing back. Justin Bieber could not get half of his publishing back from Screwed Up Ron. He sold his publishing for 200 million. All his publishing rights, he sold for ordinary, and 200 million is low for Justin Bieber, but nobody said anything because life is short. You need to know what music is about, though. It's not ordinary money. Oh. And Biggie's son can sit down and buy a house, buy a car, enjoy himself. He's not in the music business. Some of these children of dead artists are in the music business. You must prepare for your children. And if you're a mother that your child is doing music, have all the music information. My son reached KJT. I have all his publishing, all his everything. There's one USB inside this house now that he too has a copy of, all his music there. Everything in wave form. That if Snoop Dogg comes today and say, Madam Kemi, I want to do a song with your son. I like this, flip the switch. Let's do a remix. I have the music in a USB, in wave form, that they will just put it in a computer in the studio and they will add their own lyrics to it. This is what's causing fights in the Nigerian music industry. That's why Wealth left his producer, because that one won't release the publishing and all the raw audios and everything to him. You need to know how the business works. It's a very dangerous world when it comes to the publishing rights of many artists stuck with producers and all, and labels. Who owns the publishing rights to Mohbad's music? Everything he made in Malian music is with Malian music. All that money coming on Malian music will be enjoyed by Malian music. And Mohbad's children will enjoy it. The woman that said she delivered a baby for Mohbad on the 13th, the day after he died, we're still yet to hear from that one. I don't know whether that one has done her own DNA, but she said she had an affair with Mohbad, she got pregnant, she had a baby. We haven't heard from her. She posted the baby on the 13th, the day after Mohbad, on the 14th, the day after Mohbad died. Was it the 12th or 13th? One day there. It is so important we know these things. Ignorance does not excuse stupidity. When I was in Nigeria, I allowed you guys to abuse me, bully me, and all that. I'm not allowing that bullshit anymore. Go and listen to Little Dirk. We don't fuck with anybody from last year. We got richer this year. We don't fuck with anybody from last. I don't fuck with anybody from last year in Nigeria. I'm not in Nigeria anymore. Learn things. Things that are very scary. Naira Marley's daughter standing in a video saying, my father has more money than your father. Naira Marley and Davido are not fighting that I know of. But people are saying she's shading Imadi. It was another musician's daughter that she was referring to. And who else has a daughter? I was looking at that video this morning. I said to myself, could it be Liam standing in front of her? I just take her in serious. This is how people go broke and their lives get ruined. 30 years time, you see Liam living in a homeless shelter. Naira Marley's children enjoying and playing the same piece. This is what I was telling Tiwa Savage. I don't talk to Tiwa Savage anymore. She got mad because of the sex tape. I went to report it. Journalism has no favors. If you do something wrong, I have to post it. I'm not giving you any favors. That's what makes me a good journalist. Davido set you up with his friends. They made a bet. Apollo said, watch, I can have sex with her in 5 minutes. They had a group in Snapchat. David was inside that group. That's what caused their fight now. If you go on my Twitter feed, I don't come on Twitter anymore. I've been on Twitter for 2.5 weeks. But the last thing I posted, aside from the Oromoni, was that video. I did it in Yoruba because I only do Yoruba now. If you don't understand, you get a translator. Davido set Tiwa Savage up for that. They all made the bet. Apollo went into the boat. Tiwa Savage was there naked, waiting to have sex with Apollo. Apollo made a bet. And then he turned on the camera. What Tiwa Savage thought was the torchlight of the phone, so that Apollo and her can quickly have a quickie sex thing, was not a torchlight. It was a Snapchat filter that turned on the light of that thing. So everybody was watching Tiwa naked, having sex with him. And then the whole thing became Ija. The video started now threatening Tiwa Savage. I'll have my boys take care of you. Then Tiwa said, you are threatening me. I'm going to the police. And when they went to the police, what was going on in February? Late January, what did I tweet? Shut up, mad woman, 30 VG rubbish. You are yapping me. The tweet is still there. Davido, this is the final week of Grammy voting. We fall by threatening others. Did I not tweet it? This is the final week of Grammy voting. We fall by threatening others. Davido threatened to us. He was everywhere in the news. I was praying to God, yeah. Punch, Vanguard, keep it local, keep it local. He showed up on CNN. The minute he showed up on CNN, everybody syndicated it to all the American websites. Hot 97, this one, that one, Hot 105. Every radio station in America, everybody covered it. Tiwa Savage files police report, Davido threatened her. To make it worse, Vanessa did not do her job. Vanessa Amadi is the publicist for both of them. I have a degree in PR. I've done music publicity for Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, all those guys when I was in Canada. And I know music PR, if I don't even know any other form of PR. Vanessa Amadi is the PR for both of them. In Nigeria, very successful publicist. Vanessa and she. What was Vanessa looking at when Tiwa Savage was fighting Davido? Both her clients. And they brought it out to the point that it made national news and world news. The minute it went on CNN, it would be syndicated to every single place. And Grammy voting was going on. Final voting. I've been a Grammy judge in Canada, in the Junos, the Canadian Grammys. You have 30 days to vote. They tell you to listen on your headphone. The music is there on their website. You log in, Kami Olunloyo, your password. When I enter, I had Drake, Find Your Love. I'm more than just a number. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had Justin Bieber, Baby, Baby. I had other artists, Arcade Fire, all that. I will put it in my ears while I'm cooking. I'll put it when I'm washing my clothes. I'll be listening. And then one day, 2 days before final voting, 30 days you have. I just said, let's give it to Justin Bieber. I like this Baby, Baby. He's a new artist, blah, blah. It was between Justin Bieber and Drake. The other three I already put aside. And I clicked it, Justin Bieber, Baby. Submit. Are you sure? Yes, submit. I voted. That's how I used to vote in the Canadian Grammys. David Onde said it never happened. Idiots. Until they disgraced him. I was a judge. And the sad part is that when you're a judge in the Grammy, you're not supposed to open your mouth and say you're a judge. It's because I don't live there anymore. That's why I could tell you guys that. And I screenshot everything. And that's how you vote in the Grammys. Judges are voting. And you are threatening Tiwa Savage, and you have 3 nominations. I was even praying for Davido. When I tweeted, we fall by threatening others. Hey, 3 nominations, he couldn't win one of them. Best Afrobeat. I said between Tyler and Burna Boy. Davido could have won that. Best performance. That his song, Unavailable. As much as I despise the video, I'm unavailable. The dance, the video, that should have won best performance. Davido should have won one of those 3 Grammys, but he didn't because of that Tiwa Savage stuff. Tiwa was pissed off. Many people are asking what caused it, what caused it. Nobody heard what caused it. A minimum suffering. I'm the one giving you all the information. As of yesterday, I did a video telling you no more Davido stories. I'm forgiving Davido and let him go on with his life. People are asking me, what about this new girl that was having an affair with? This girl that said he doesn't know he was married. Not my area anymore. I'm not in journalism anymore. You can go and rest. Okay, they've tried and tried and tried in the family. He will not apologize to me. Demola has gone to see my dad. You saw the picture. Say Demola went to pay courtesy visit to Governor Olunloyo on the wheelchair, everything. Now, the matter they bring. He said, I've leaked all his personal information, his secrets and all that. He's a very stubborn boy. Makwe 60 or 30 years old. One item can ruin your life. Davido went to Kenya and Uganda like 2 weeks ago. He had recreational cocaine in his pocket. They detained him. Then they had to send him to secondary. When he got to secondary, he paid a fine and he left. So now the story came out, boom, they caught him with drugs. You had drugs on you, Davido. I'm not going to be one of those people that are going to tell you that it didn't happen. He went to New York's radio station saying that they were lying that he was carrying drugs, he was trafficking. You were not trafficking. You had recreational drugs on you. Some countries will not take that little amount of cocaine. They won't take it lightly. Go and enter your own country, America, specifically Dallas. Dallas, Texas. Texas, the only state in America that does not legalize marijuana for medicine or recreation. Enter with cocaine or anything else. You will see what will happen to you. He knows what he's doing now. Lying all the time. As for Chioma, I have nothing to say. I'm just telling you what you need to know. People that follow me on Facebook, they're supposed to be the most daft people, but they're actually the smartest because I made them smart. They learn from me. If you enter my Facebook page, you will just see there. Most of you don't know basic things, but I'm here to teach you for free. Toxicology tests taken to America. For what reason? We have toxicology taught in schools in Nigeria. Dr. Penking can tell you that. Penking left, he'll come back, he came back again. Any doctor can tell you that. If you type it, toxicology schools in Nigeria. Every university has a toxicology school if they have a medical school. We teach it in Nigeria. University College Hospital in Ibadan, my hometown, you can do toxicology tests there. There are people brought in, they were drunk, they died. There are people brought in that their family said ritualists killed them, blah, 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 blah. They drank this, they ate that, they poisoned. It's all toxicology. There are people who say people were poisoned, politician was poisoned, ordinary person was poisoned, my best friend poisoned, my friend, my blah, blah, blah. How do they know it was poisoned? Toxicology tests are done in hospitals in Nigeria. Lagos, of all places, has a forensic center. The forensic lab in Lagos does a lot of DNA, forensic, toxicology. Mr. Sanwo-Olu told you he put down a team and he mentioned everybody's name in the team. Why did the toxicology test for Mohbad go to America? I don't believe it one time. When we asked you about the autopsy, Ben Hyundai tweeted it was ready on the 21st. We're waiting for the toxicology test. It takes 6 weeks. I sat down for Whitney Houston's toxicology test for 6 weeks and Amy Winehouse. And I sat down at Amy's home because I was a music journalist and an investigative journalist on Amy Winehouse. Amy used a lot of drugs, alcohol, everything. I wanted to know what killed Amy. I sat down on Whitney's own as a music journalist, a friend of hers, her blogger on her reality show, and that's why I waited. And when I got Whitney's autopsy and toxicology test, drugs is not the real cause of her death, but the long-term use of drugs, her heart was scarred, and she had a heart attack. It's all on Wikipedia for you now. But toxicology tests will tell you what somebody drank, what they ate, what they were poisoned with, what substance they gave them as medicine, everything in this system. I must see traces of ceftriaxone, procaine, tetanus injection, every single thing that entered his system. From the minute he was drinking that degenerate, bitters, alcohol, Molly, that could have been done in Nigeria. Michael Ataga was my friend. I wouldn't say friend. Michael Ataga contacted me from Super TV and wanted me to run that place. Nobody will believe what I'm telling you, because when it happened, these are not things to announce to people. He was interested in the Kami Olunloyo that he always hears from and wanted me to come and work for him at Super TV. He was starting a brand new television, internet thing. All those dreams were shattered. The billionaire was having an affair with a hookup girl, Chidinma Ojukwu, the beauty queen in Kirikiri. And at the end of the day, they did drugs together, they had sex, they did a lot of stuff, and a fight happened, blah, blah, blah. Chidinma stabbed him to death. I have the crime scene picture, it's so bloody. Michael Ataga's case is still going on. Chidinma said he killed him, then changed her interview on NTA, I didn't kill him. At the end of the day, 2 days ago, everybody in Nigeria saw the report that the Lagos Forensic Center found DNA of Chidinma, blood of Ataga on the dress she was wearing that day. They found Michael Ataga's DNA on that blood. This is the reason why, number one, you need DNA. Number two, Lagos Forensic Center has, what's the word? They beat their own foot or something. The term that says that if you are lying, you have now lied proper. Why is the Lagos Forensic Center checking DNA on Ataga's, on Chidinma's clothes, and they can determine that it's Ataga's DNA from the blood, and they can't do toxicology tests for Mohbad? That's stupid. And they're telling you toxicology tests for an abroad. That's bullshit. This week is when the autopsy is due. It's already Thursday. We're not going to see it tomorrow. They don't want to announce it. They just want to do, let me tell you, that press conference that Wonha had that determined that the nurse rigged cocktails of drugs inside Mohbad. They didn't announce it. It was me that announced it, because I went to Hyundai in the DM and I asked him, when are we going to get this press conference? Hyundai said today, 1 o'clock. Now me announced them. So I'm not a practicing journalist anymore. I've retired. I'm not contacting Hyundai. I'm just going to wait like everybody else. I can tell you now that a court in Ikorodu has been petitioned to order Wunmi to take the DNA test. Wunmi has been avoiding service by the sheriff. Can I explain that to you? Because you might not understand the court system. It's very similar to America. If a court orders you to do something, they have to serve it to you. If the sheriff comes to your house, sheriff is police or court official, comes to your house to come and give you the paper, you must sign for it that you got it. Wunmi knows they're trying to serve her for a DNA order, so she's been avoiding them. You see that she's not home, or she's gone to another address and hide there. So she's been avoiding service. They still haven't been able to serve her, but the whole petition was by the Aloba family, the entire family of the Aloba. They want Wunmi to do a DNA test so they can isolate who is the father of Liam, and also so they can also find out. Remember what the father said? I need that DNA on 2 levels. Whose DNA is on that broken bottle? The police have it now. They're not talking. They have it. There's somebody on this space. You don't know the person. It's a fake account. Okay, 2 of them said. It's 2 fake accounts are watching this space right now. One of them is a police officer. The other is a DSS officer. They are both following this space. I know who they are. I didn't invite them, but I know them. They know me. And their fake account, they're listening to this stuff. There are people in the police that know what I'm talking about. They have information on that scene. That bloody blanket, all that. Whose DNA is on the bloody blanket? Everybody must submit their DNA. Everybody else has done what they have to do. Prime boys, spending, everybody has gone home. They're just holding that nurse. Is she waiting for the nurse to say, you told me to kill Mohbad or what? I'm done. Oluwamo, make a request. I want you to talk on all this. I don't even know how long I've been talking. I started this thing at 2 o'clock Nigerian time. It's now 4 o'clock Nigerian time. Oluwamo, make a request. Domingo, I'm going to get to you. I do my best. I want to finish this docu-series. I'm going to release part 1. Shout out to Duncan Mighty. His music is the one that I used in the instrumental. Duncan actually gave me that track 3 years ago in 2021 because KJ wanted to try Afrobeat, but my son kind of like, he's not an Afrobeat person. So I shout to the instrumental. I'm using it for the Mohbad thing. I'm using it for the Mohbad documentary. Oluwamo, make a request. We are still in listener now. I want you to talk first. Abi, you don't want to talk, ne? Abi, you're in a place where you can't talk, ne? So what I want to hear from people, I'm not going to say anything. I just want you guys, I want to hear, I literally want to hear what you guys have to say because I've explained everything to you about DNA. The reason why Mohbad needs to, I said Mohbad, the reason why we need to know who fathered Liam is because of Mohbad's assets. If we're saying 3 billion is on the, almost $700,000, if we're saying that's on the line right now, somebody must be able to claim it. And Mr. Aloba wants to claim his son's assets. Because by law, Naira Marley is supposed to, hold on guys, I'm trying to do something here. By law, Naira Marley is supposed to hand over the assets to the family. But if you're Naira Marley, who in that kind of family are you going to hand over assets to? Who? Nonsense. Family that's all dysfunctional and everything. I don't want this space to be super crowded, everybody shouting and doing everything. Oluwamo, on mute, Jerry. How are you, my brother?
Auntie Kemi, it's been a long time. How are you doing?
What's so good, sir?
I know.
Auntie is legal now. Everyone can come here and see mommy, grandma, and go to where we are going.
Twitter spaces. What they occur? Which man is holding you, Auntie Kemi?
They refuse to monetize it.
There's money on Twitter spaces, Auntie Kemi. You can also make good money on Twitter spaces.
Shebi Tabasco sponsors Google.
I'm branding Twitter. I mean, some of us make good money on Twitter spaces. I mean, thousands of pounds.
Oluwamo.
I mean, I don't know how Instagram work. I don't do Instagram, but me on Twitter spaces.
Facebook.
I mean, I can say I can confidently that Twitter spaces worked for me, opened so many doors. Instead, I mean, I work with so many brands home and abroad. I mean, it's been amazing.
Let's do this.
So you should monetize Twitter spaces, and you have what it takes. Why not? You have what it takes.
Let's do this. Okay, I know when I finish this show, it is viral, and Elon Musk will probably give me something for it. But Oluwamo, go and do something for me, homework. Let's do a talk show together, you and I, once a week. Let's monetize it. Oluwamo and Kami Olunloyo. I'm not journalist anymore. I'm only giving opinions. Oh
And we
yeah,
can
now
speak
I'm
to
only
some
giving
brands to
you.
come on board. Why not?
That's
Let's do it.
it. And we're giving opinions. I'm not practicing journalism anymore, but if I hear something
Sister
in the news,
Kemi, diaspora is my niche too. So you have to know diaspora more than bro is my niche. Why not? So what are we going to be talking about? What topics are we going to be talking about? What kind of topics?
topics going on in the news. If you see what I'm doing on YouTube, anything that happens in the news,
Politics is my niche, right? Politics and diaspora is my niche. You understand?
I will.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because of you, I will enter the political thing. I don't usually report politics, but
Are you
remember,
ready?
I'm
Are
not.
you sure you have enough
But
knowledge for
wait, I'm
politics?
not reporting. Oluwama, I'm not reporting now because I'm retired, but now I can come in
Okay.
opinion. I can come through opinion in politics. For example, the EFCC thing now. I said last night in my new video, my up-to-date video, it's on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, that the EFCC is not targeting Bobrisky or Cubana chief priest. What they're doing is they're investigating all the past governors and people affiliated with them. Cubana chief priest loves to shout about his governor. Ooh, who's Ojima? Ooh, this one. Oh, he's affiliated with all these governors, visits them. Maybe he went to visit the Kogi one too. They're trying to see money laundering activities. That's what they're looking at. Celebrities affiliated with governors and past governors may be money laundering for those governors. You saw what happened yesterday now. Cubana chief
So
priest,
Ask him,
Kogi, all that.
I have an idea in my head. I'm thinking, would you love to be my guest speaker? Let me have an evening with Dr. Kami Olunloyo. Would you love to be my guest speaker?
Let's do it. Oh yeah,
And
now let's do
I
it.
could bring
Uh-huh.
I could bring maybe 3, 4, 5 brands on board and then
Oh yeah,
sponsor the
now.
space.
Why they send the woman to
And
you?
I'm gonna happy for it.
Sure,
I'm gonna happy for you to take the money.
Mama, you send my money to me after.
Ask me,
Huh?
they will pay you up the money. It's fine. It's not a problem. You pay if you promise to be. If you agree to it,
I'm agreed to. What do
what
we
could you
do?
have like an evening?
An evening with
So
Dr.
hold on. So
Kemi
we have an
Olunloyo.
evening.
No,
Exactly, and then we should talk about
no
yourself, your
hold
history,
bars.
your past, what's the future for Nigeria,
Yeah,
and no holds barred in this time.
yeah.
So, and then I could easily get 3 to 5 brands to sponsor the
Let's
space.
do it. Add my
And
love
when they
life too.
sponsor me, I collect money in pounds. So I don't collect naira in hand, so I
That's
don't
the
get it
pounds
that
I
way.
want.
So,
I don't want naira.
so,
Send my pounds to me.
so,
Let's do it. Let's plan it. Let's plan. In fact,
so put us okay. Let's do that. So we kick up and running, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, see how it goes.
you can do
I'm
it.
sure
You
you
can
have what it
even do
takes.
it as
And listen,
you can do it as Dr. Kemi at 60, Auntie Kemi at 60. I'll be 60 in 3 months. So
oh wow,
you didn't know.
okay,
I'll be 60.
fantastic.
Yeah, August 6,
But you,
1964.
Doctor, you still sound like a 21-year-old girl.
I
This thing
tried.
sounds
I
young,
would love to tell you
energetic.
about my
You have
60.
what it takes. I mean, your
Yeah,
mindset is amazing. You
yeah.
understand
I,
so many
I
things.
love to
Okay,
tell you about my
fantastic.
60 years. So let's plan it. And evening with Dr. Kemi.
We'll talk about that. We could talk about that.
We'll
You
talk
understand?
in
Let's
the
appreciate
DM.
it.
You
Let's
know
talk
what I need
about
from
you.
you? Do you use WhatsApp? WhatsApp the app? You use it? No.
I'm a Jebuni me, but
Okay,
me
no,
shara bullet to you.
okay.
No,
I
me
wanted your
ni
number.
Jebu on the WhatsApp in Jebu now.
No, some people don't like WhatsApp. I personally don't like WhatsApp. I stopped using it for 2 years, but send me your WhatsApp number in the DM and let's plan it well and everything. That'll be great. So, Oluoma, the floor is yours. I want to hear, after hearing me for 2 hours, I want to hear your opinion on this information on DNA and Wumi. Now they're trying to serve her and she's running around and she has not been able to be served. What are they hiding? I just know that someone killed Mohbad and the person was at the crime scene and there's DNA that is needed from that crime scene, blah, blah, blah. You just talk. I'm going to bring 2 other people in and you guys can debate it. I will just be listening to you. Go ahead. If I have to talk, I'll talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is my take. I'm not a big fan of music, the whole stuff myself, any. But one is that for me, I think DNA is important. I've always said it myself that I mean, kings as a man, you have to do DNA. Listen, in the world we live in now, DNA is very important. A lot of men have died only for them to find out 15, 20 years down the line that the child is not theirs. Some of these men will collapse. And it's so hurtful that, you raise a child and only for you to find out 10, 15 years down the line the child is not yours. You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, I don't see why this girl can't do a DNA if she says this child belongs to this guy. Why are you running from a DNA? You understand? I think every person should do DNA. In fact, If I was a governor or a president of Nigeria one day, maybe the next future, if God says yes, I mean, like I said, I'm into politics myself. Maybe if I get into power one of these days when I'm back home, one of my first priority would be to sign a DNA bill whereby every child birth, giving birth in our country should be a compulsory DNA. Why not? You
Yeah.
understand? Every hospital, if you maybe a private hospital or a government hospital, we should have a compulsory DNA in our society. Because the truth is, this is not against anybody. It just makes life a lot easier. Understand? I want to grow up and be like, okay, this is my dad. How do you feel as someone's a child growing up and calling another man is their dad or their parent? I mean, this is unfair. And guess what? The DNA affects men most. A lot of Nigerian men have died and collapsed because they knew that this child was in there, a couple of years down the line. So sometimes I get some women who are very sensitive. Say, if any man do DNA for my child, I'm gonna walk up their marriage, blah blah. Auntie, calm down. If you have nothing to hide, what's the big deal? He even reassures the man because end of the truth and came in, hey guys, DNA, told my dad, go down. You understand? Shey? Let's call a child. Nobody wants to be raising a bastard child. You understand? I don't want you to come to my house and give me a bastard child. God forbid. And technology has made life a lot easier for us. You understand?
Yeah.
The funny part is that what people don't understand is even if the child is not yours, doesn't mean that you can't love that child. But at least you know where you stand.
Yes.
You get my point?
Yeah.
You know where you stand. People adopt children every day. People have stepchildren, brothers and sisters. It's not a big deal. But let this person know, not like you deceiving me. You're telling me this is my child, and I found out 10 years down the line that's not my child. I mean, God forbid. And thank God for technology and to understand. So every man on this space, do DNA for your child.
Right.
It's that simple as ABC.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not saying a bad way. If you as a man, I mean, nobody me go tell everything go do in your household. But don't come out and tell us the next 20 years that, oh, this child is not yours. Uncle, do DNA. Simple now. Life is simple, you understand? So I don't know what this girl's running from. What's the big deal doing DNA? DNA is not a big deal. Do DNA. I mean, technology has made life a lot easier for every one of us. Listen, you want to make sure this child is yours and belongs to your family. It's just that simple.
Let me interject you there. Hold that thought there. Now, you said something there that why is she avoiding doing DNA? If I want to claim money, okay, let me just put myself as Wumi's mother. Let me say I'm Liam's grandmother. The only thing in my own eyes right now is the money that Mohbad has in Marlian music. I want to get my hands on that money. And to get my hands on that money, I'll have to get it through Liam. If I was the grandmother of that boy and she's avoiding to do DNA, I've already taken the boy out of my radar because I feel she's avoiding to do the DNA because she's trying to hide the fact that she's part of the crime scene. Do you understand what I'm saying? She has an idea that they want to check her DNA with the blood found at the scene. Sure you get?
Yeah, I guess you. Go ahead.
That's what I think, because that DNA will link her directly to that crime and she's avoiding that. There's no doubt about it. That's my thing. It's not so much of Liam.
So for me as Kemi, one of my issues I always say that in our society we also need to financially empower women in our society.
Yeah.
We need to educate women more. So I'm like, even we all do respect to Mohbad's passed away and stuff. I mean, why you depend on somebody else's money? I mean, don't you have a career of your own? Can you not push yourself, your goals on yourself?
Yeah.
You understand? So I mean, I don't know these girls' situation, but I just feel like a lot of I'd love to see more Nigerian women being financially empowered. You understand? So that they don't understand that they have to be dependent on somebody else on a man for them to have a better life. No,
Yeah.
you understand? I think this is one of the things that me as a person in the future, if obviously when I get certain positions or opportunity comes to some things I love to see. I love to see a lot of even more women empowerment in our society. About okay, fine, this guy might have money and he's passed away. You, as the mother of this child, you should be financially empowered yourself to look after this child and be in a better place. Why are you depending on someone else's money like a joy? That fair.
We have a lot of influencers here, and I want to hear from Domingo. I'm going to bring you in, and then Abija. Shola is here. And, Shola is an expert at these things that I follow Shola's work. Okay. I follow Shola's work very closely because I have 3 sons and my sons are 37, 33, and 24. And KJ has had girl problems. And some of the things that Shola addresses, I told KJ to follow Shola and listen and learn, this whole thing, because he's in America now, 23 years old, you have a date with a woman and all she wants to do is eat, and after that eat with the next guy. So all these things are there. And shall I make a request? Because I want to hear from you. Let's hear from Domingo. Domingo, what do you have to say to everything I said and everything Oluoma said?
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the floor, Dr. Kemi.
You're welcome. Where are you? Are you in Nigeria?
No, I'm not in Nigeria.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I actually listened to all what you said for over 2 hours. Like you were speaking for over 2 hours. You really tried. I must commend you for that. But I have certain things to say about DNA. For me, just like Oluomo has said, I don't know why women are scared of DNA when it's been mentioned. And if someone actually knows that the person is, there is nothing actually attached, or you don't have an ulterior motive as to why you should be running away from DNA test. You should actually submit yourself to it. You should. It is important that you should submit yourself to it. Reason being that there are many couples today that have actually had this issue of paternity fraud. A woman bringing in a child into the family and then the man raising the child and everything, because you see that this actually causes so much psychological damage on the part of the man, because I mean you've been with a child for over 20 years, and after that you discover that, oh, this child is not mine. So I don't know. For me, I believe that this is a solution to this. That before couples go into marriage, it should be a sort of agreement between the man and the woman that when we give birth to our children, we are going to actually carry out a DNA test to certify if these children are actually ours. Some people actually raise the concern of, oh, trust. How can I be with you and then you don't trust me? You don't trust that I am the father, that you're the father of my baby and everything. But the most important thing is couples agreeing that, oh, when we give birth to our children, we are going to actually conduct a DNA test to actually ascertain if we are the parents of these children, that aside. So if the court has actually ordered Wumi to actually carry out the DNA test, I think she should submit herself if there is nothing she's hiding, objectively speaking, because I am someone who speaks objectively very well. Secondly, I have a question to ask you, because I listened to your speech, and the first question is, what is the main aim of you hosting this space? What is the main aim of you hosting this space?
The main aim of me hosting this space is that I brought up the DNA issue first. The day I spoke about the DNA issue, I just calculated Mohbad's streams and downloads. After little Dirk and Meek Mill posted about Mohbad got more followers and more streams. After calculating the money, I now said, who is going to take this money? Who are his family? Does he have any children? Any children that needs to take this assets must have a established paternity, that Mohbad was their father. And the reason I spoke about that day is because a woman from Ikorodu showed a baby, brand newborn, 1 day old, died on the day Mohbad was born. And she was trending because they said Mohbad had resurrected. So I wanted DNA test to be done to that new baby, if in fact it's Mohbad's baby. And I spoke on this space that we haven't heard from the girls since. And I started talking about DNA, only to wake up the third day and hear Very Dark Man. That's how I found out about Very Dark Man. I knew he was embroiled in some cream issues with Nkechi and all them, but that's really the time I woke up and I heard he said something about DNA as well. So there's a post yesterday they got a court order that Wunmi must have a DNA test for Liam. And Wunmi has evaded the sheriff 3 times. They said she has moved from one house to another. They have not been able to serve her. So she's trying to really evade it. Because once she gets the paper and it's signed for, she must show up in court. Now, you know how that works. Somebody can sign for you. She has to be the one to get it. So right now, someone that doesn't want to do DNA, that says she doesn't have money to do DNA and she collected millions, she's given that excuse. She's paid influencers via Iyabo Ojo to say that, oh, they've done the DNA for Mohbad and he's the father. They've done that fake one they did with the influencer. She has been saying she doesn't have any money. Somebody said they would give her 10 million. Somebody said they would sponsor it. Now they're trying to actually order it and she's still evading, to do the DNA. So because it's, now remember, I have retired after 30 years, but because it's a hot news story and there's a media blackout, there's several media blackouts. I hope you know what that means. A media blackout is when one big story covers the others. But wait, let me finish. There's a lot of big stories out there that's covering this DNA story. Okay, we still have some little tiny parts of Junior Pope and we have a lot of Cubana chief priests, but yesterday was when that court order was drawn and they tried to serve her 3 times yesterday. So today is Thursday. A journalist will bring that kind of topic up. So to your question, why am I really hosting this space? You got to understand, I've not hosted a space in 6 months and I'm doing my first one in 2024.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you understand why I'm hosting it now?
Well, yeah, it's not really
because
clear
it relates to me. It relates to something I'm doing.
Yes, exactly. The reason why I'm asking is paying close attention to your analysis, the analysis you gave. Someone with a critical mind would seem that you are more or less preempting the result of the DNA test. Because one
was done.
No. Just can you hold on? Can you hold on?
Domingo, I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue. I didn't preempt anything. Did you come in here at the beginning of the show?
Sure. I heard all.
Do you remember I said something about Dubai?
Of course, very well. I know you said all.
Did you catch the test? Did you catch?
Can I just speak?
No, I want to speak. It's my space. I want to speak. It's my space. I asked you a question. You heard about the Dubai when I said it. Did you catch the Dubai post when I posted it in September?
I saw
yes or no?
I saw them. There are some other information which you may not be privy to, with this Mohbad's case.
In September, did you see my DNA post?
Can you actually hear me out? Let me say something, please.
Because you're asking me questions that don't matter. Why am I having a space? I've preempted the DNA results.
It's an important question because so many Nigerians and people
from different. This is my space. This is my space. This is my space. If I wanted to hang up, if it was a radio show, you'd have been gone a long time ago. I'll hear you out. Go ahead. I have to give other people chances to speak.
Okay. Because, like I said, for me, I feel that you are preempting the result of the DNA test. If the court of competent jurisdiction has actually ordered that a DNA test be conducted, I mean, why not wait until the DNA test is concluded before probably holding a space? And then making the analysis which you're making, and all the.
I'm a journalist of 30 years. You don't wait. Journalists don't wait for something to happen before you do it.
That's my point. So what is
that's not how journalism is? But most of you don't know how that is done in Nigeria anyway. You don't wait for nothing. If you wait, then you're waiting for the system to lie. Wait, hold on. Let me say something. I'm going to ask you a question. You're very argumentative. I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Have you ever heard of somebody committing a crime and they went to prison for 47 years and they were released because they didn't commit the crime? Most of the stories come from America. Have you ever heard any story like that? The man was released after 20 years. Do you know why they were released? Do you know why many of them were released? Because of DNA evidence that did not link them to the crime. They were arrested and they were taken to the police station and the police coerced them or forced them to confess. This has happened a lot in Black America. And then 30, 40 years later, they're released because of DNA technology. America started using DNA technology in crimes in the late 80s to 90s. I was in America for 31 years. I lived there and I'm still living there up and down. At the end of the day, DNA evidence exonerated many people. The same way DNA evidence will exonerate who killed Mohbad. It is not about Liam. Like the father said, I need the DNA on 2 levels. The levels I'm looking at is the criminal level. Who killed Mohbad? We need the DNA of every single person who was at the top of that stairs, and they have all submitted except her. Because
Yes,
the
everyone.
actual, you see, I'm not talking about the kid now. The actual DNA that we really need in this case right now is who killed Mohbad.
Everyone is asking that question, not only you. I am asking the question. Everyone is asking the question. But the problem is your analysis and the way you tilted and the way you gave your analysis is more or less subjective and relative. That's
Okay,
my
I'm
point.
done. All right,
So-
Domingo, let me get somebody else in. I don't want to sit down here.
Can I finish? I also have another question. I also have another question.
I've already removed Domingo because he's saying that my analysis is subjective. He needs to go learn how investigative journalists work. Sometimes investigative journalists have to point at a suspect before they can even determine if that person is a suspect via the police department. That's why we use non-affirmative words in the AP style book. Okay, there's a book called the AP style book. AP stands for Associated Press. The AP style book is used to teach us in journalism school. Okay, and we have to use words like, we're pointing at that suspect because we allegedly feel that he committed the crime. We use the word allegedly, allegations. Okay, that's the same words I used in the Biomi case, but the police still arrested me and they apologized after I've done 6 months being detained because they didn't know what the word meant. It's a non-affirmative word that prevents you from having a lawsuit. I'm not going to sit on a space with somebody telling me I'm subjective. I already know. I'm talking about a woman who they took DNA sample from her in utero while she was pregnant and sent it to Dubai. And they came up with someone else. And the person faced me directly and said, Auntie Kemi, it's not my child. Do I have my own 2 at home? So do a fresh new one. Wumi is running around, not because of the child. She's not asking Naramali to give all the money to her. She's running around because she's going to be fingered in the death of Mohbad. That's what I need the DNA for. Who stabbed him on the neck? Oluoma, what do you have to say before we bring Abijah in?
For me, you know me, I'm not into music that much. I think I'm more of a political person. I think the truth is, sometimes I blame the Nigerian police. In Senate crimes, these things have been resolved. Would have had someone being charged to court. Even the trial going on at present. I think Naira Marley was arrested. When he was arrested, there was just Sam Larry. I don't know what was exactly going on. They said on the bill. Okay,
don't you think, Oluoma, that those things should have been at the inquest by now?
Well, this all. In all fairness, this all come to the kind of society we live in as Nigerian. When exactly are we going to get this right? You understand? By now, we should have had an inquest. Should have something autopsy results for the exactly. Would I know the cause of death for this young man? Then the police. The police would have at least, an investigation going on, someone being arrested, bailed, pending, at least have a progress going on. There's nothing going on. Sam Larry and Naira Marley were arrested. We don't know the progress of what's going on. What's the next step? What's the direction? Are they guilty? Are they going to be charged? Are they even maybe not guilty at all? Then the police should exactly come out and tell us exactly what is going on. Because this case is in the public interest. Say it again?
Yeah. So it is in the public interest. But Oluoma, let me ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oluoma, let me ask you a question. Remember when the Oromoni case was going on what this guy said about I'm being subjective. I had that space and I said that I got information that Sylvester was being hazed with other students and that the narrative that the father brought out was they were forcing him to join a cult. But technically, the 16 people I interviewed past house, what's the name of those please? House masters, present, past house masters, and present and past students. And a past student said Sylvester himself wanted to join that group. whatever it is, a cult or group, but he wanted to join, he wanted to belong. There was peer pressure, and he was likely being hazed. And I said, well, how do they haze them over there? They might have to drink anything from alcohol to engine oil or anything. So Sylvester was asked to go and pick the bag of a housemaster in the back of his car, and there was an engine oil thing there, and he brought it inside, and he was likely hazed and told to drink a little bit of it. So while I was on the space, I mentioned that. But Nigerians didn't hear that. What Nigerians heard was Kami Olunloyo said Sylvester drank engine oil and the father is lying. So when you're subjective, okay, as he said, he doesn't know the difference between subjective and allegations. That's an allegation, okay? And that was done in November of 2021. What did I say in March of 2022? They wanted me to stop that investigation. They wanted to distract me by posting my phone number, address, bullying me, all that. But I continued that investigation undercover. And on March 20th, 2022, I released my findings. What did I write? I tweeted it. It's on my timeline now. Arrest Sylvester's father. Charge him with manslaughter. He denied his child care. When I heard that, he was actually filming his child while the child was on anointing gum given to them by their pastor in their Delta church, so that when he heals, they can use it as a testimony. The pastor was creating content using Sylvester, and the father was filming for the pastor instead of rushing his child to the hospital. And then I fingered the Lekki doctor. The Lekki doctor told them that he was having sepsis and that he should get treated. Instead, they took him to his uncle's house in Lekki. He was playing video games with a sucker injury that's turning slowly into sepsis. And his father came and told them not to treat the child. The Lekki doctor said, okay, if you told me not to treat him, I won't treat him. Just take him home to Delta, where you said you're going. The father flew to Lagos, but drove Sylvester by road to Delta. Why, I don't know, but it took longer for a child in that condition. So by the time they got to Delta, the doctor in Delta said this boy has an enlarged liver. So yesterday they indicted, 2 days ago, they indicted the father and the Lekki doctor who didn't act well as being negligent. But is that not the word I use in my write-up? It's on my page. Sylvester's father should be arrested from negligence. So you can't come back and say I was subjected, I was saying he drank this, he drank that. That's why they call it investigation. You don't wait. You don't wait for police. You don't wait for any authority. That's why the word is called investigate. You look around every corner for the truth. You understand what I'm saying, Oluomo? Let me bring Abijah in. Abijah, we had him in, and oh God, let me just see. Abijah.
Kemi, maybe we like it or not.
Yes.
I mean, all from the young man who died, Sylvester's case, who died a couple of months ago. No matter what, it's still back to our system as a nation. The system has failed every one of us. And one of the things that gets me angry most as Nigerians is that people don't understand that an injustice for one is an injustice for all. Because the same thing happened to that family can be you tomorrow. Maybe you like it or not. Sometimes the mindset of Nigerians, I believe that a lot of us are very selfish, very self-minded, whereby people just concern me now, that kind of stuff. But guess what? It might be you tomorrow. This is what we need to understand as Nigerians. You understand?
Yeah.
All this today. I don't know if you remember the case of one second. I don't know if you remember the case of the lawyer that was killed, the police officer killed, that was pregnant in December 25, just 2 years ago.
Yes, now my friend.
Look at that lawyer, for example. A police officer just carried a gun thinking, yeah, I will shoot you, nothing will happen. That kind of madness from a police officer. And that was it. It shows that the lack of value for human lives in our society. So this is in a normal country, Auntie Kemi, in a normal country, the whole nation would have come out millions to protest and shut it down. But guess what? We moved on like it's okay. Sometimes some of these things, it makes me angry as Nigerian. Okay, yeah, go on.
Let me respond to that for you. That happened in my backyard in Nigeria. The lawyer was one of my fans. I met at a chemist like 2 weeks before Christmas. And fans miss me all the time. So I took a picture with her on Snapchat, and me and my son had walked away a little bit far away, and she was still calling us from her car, Auntie Kemi. The Snapchat didn't go well. So I walked all the way back and did it with her. So when I woke up on Boxing Day and I saw that she was shot and killed, she was going to her church, coming from her church, but it's not the regular church. They went to another church because family came around, all that. I was stunned. And then the officer was also someone we knew from Aja. So you get it. That officer, Vandy, is aggressive. When I had a fight with one of my neighbors, that one went to turn everybody's light off, saying that we went to snitch to NEPA on her. She wasn't paying her bill. When we called the patrol to come, because she was holding everybody's face. When we called the patrol to come, Vandy was one of those officers. KJ started to tape everything that was going on for records. And Vandy now snatched KJ's phone and said, why are you recording? Why are you? He had my son's phone. So when I came out, it was an argument between my son and Vandy. And I said, oh God, please give my son his phone back. He's not part of us. He's visiting from America. I say that when I want to protect my children as a US citizen in Nigeria, and I have that right. I say he's not one of us. He's visiting from America. I don't want him calling the embassy. The other officer now told Vandy, please give it to him. We don't want diplomatic issue. Sure, you understand? Because I said it's an American visiting. Vandy was aggressive. And KJ said, I'm not recording you. I'm just recording what the stupid neighbor was saying and all that. You understand me? So I saw the aggressiveness in Vandy. And when I woke up and I said, Vandy was the one that shot at this girl and just said, just shot at him. This is the authority they sit on. I'm a cop. I will shoot you because you have tags that are covered. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a lawless country, which I definitely know.
Let me just 1 second. I think one of the things that we do as Nigerians is the fact that just 2 years ago, the WISPI. Maybe not many Nigerians on this platform know what WISPI is. So WISPI is a World Internal Security and Police Index. So they do it for all the countries all over the world. Guess what? We have 54 countries in Africa. Nigeria police force was rated number 54 in Africa, which means we're the worst performing police force in Africa. In a normal country, the citizens should have demanded for a police reform. I mean, a lot of things are not right. Sometimes people ask me, you talk about Botswana too much. There's a country called Botswana in Africa. Botswana police have been rated number 1 in the WISPI index since 2016. We're now in 2024. So that means that country for the past 8 years has had the number 1 best police rated force in Africa. All this nonsense you hear, park, I'll shoot you. You never heard those kind of things, those kind of countries. You understand? But we're number 54 in Africa. I mean, the worst police force, even worse than Somalia, a war-torn country. Why are Nigerians not angry enough? Why are we not demanding for police reform? We all just, vibe and stuff.
I think what you have to say, real quick. Thanks for your waiting.
Let me meet for Auntie Kemi here.
Good afternoon, Auntie Kemi. Good afternoon to you, ma.
How are you, Richard?
I'm doing fine, and you as well?
I'm doing good. Where are you? Are you in Nigeria?
Yes, currently I'm in Nigeria. So,
what's your opinion on everything we spoke about?
Okay. At first, what I'm going to say is that I have been a biggest fan of your work right from maybe 8 years, 7 years ago. There was a time whereby you. What do you say?
Thank you so much. I don't retire. The rest, do my own thing.
Yes. So there was a time, there was a time you normally do this Facebook Live, whereby you wear this one of your wigs and you give information, whereby sometimes you laugh. So I've been trailing this work from Facebook down to YouTube, then down to Twitter as well. And there was a time that you even blocked me on my former account because we had this, what did you do that made me block you? I was arguing with you now. It's a normal thing. So that's just it. Now, what I want to say is about this DNA of a thing we have been talking about, this Olobas family and the rest. Number one, Madam Kemi, I have a question. Who is responsible in acting for this? Now, let us understand that this DNA issue is all about, it is about a family issue, not a societal issue.
Which is true.
Because I am a father and I'm also an husband. So now, if for peradventure I leave this world and there's a rift in my family, who is responsible to ask for my child's DNA? Is it the society or the family?
Okay, I know it's a family issue, but remember what I said. Sure, you heard what I said. I said, I personally, Kami Olunloyo, I'm more interested in the DNA in the criminal area. Sure, you understand? Okay. Because Wunmi may have left DNA at the crime scene. because of the blood, the bottle that she threw on him while they were fighting on top of the step over the Canadian issue, and also the family of Mohbad, the auntie, coming on social media and announcing that stab in the neck, must have heard it from her brother, which is Mohbad's father. Remember, after the autopsy was ready on the 21st of September, the police announced that it's ready. We're waiting for toxicology tests. But remember what Mohbad's father said? Mohbad's father did not pick up the body and said, I'm not burying my son until I get justice for him. At that point, he knew the boy had a stab wound on the neck, told the sister, and the sister went and did that show with the bells. I'm interested more on the criminal side. So the answer to your question is, society does not own the DNA issue when it comes to Talo Bimo, who is the father, you know. I mean, even Kami Olunloyo is not supposed to be involved because I'm not the one claiming the money, the assets, okay? Naira Marley and company are laughing in their own corner there. Who will now claim it to blah, blah, blah. You see what Naira Marley was doing? I've said this since September. I said Naira Marley is probably laughing at all of you now, waiting for you to come and do DNA test. Now Naira Marley is inside music video. Taloni baby, Tani Baba baby. You know what I mean? Is that openly mocking people? So they are the ones carrying all the money, and they will laugh at Wunmi and the family. They're laughing at the father, Mohbad's mother, Wunmi, Karimo, everybody just doing this show on social media. They are laughing because they are carrying the money and assets that belong to Mohbad. Wunmi is not exactly fighting Naira Marley for the assets yet. She doesn't have a probate lawyer and she has not gone to probate court. The only reason Wunmi is scared is because she was at the crime scene and they've told her that her DNA will exonerate her. Her DNA is needed. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Abijah, sometimes when you want to get somebody, when you want to capture something, you have to use certain methods. Do you understand me? She knows that one of the methods of they're going to like solve this crime is to carry her DNA. You know, like for example, now, if something happens and the police wants to arrest me, okay, and they need my fingerprints, and I'm trying to avoid the police, do you know other places have my fingerprints that they can go to? You say, Madam Olunloyo, you're coming to the police station, we need to do your fingerprints. And I know they're trying to solve a crime that involves my fingerprints. I won't go now, but they can go to driver license. Do you understand? They can go to driver license. They can go to passports office. They can get those same fingerprints there. If they can't get it from driver license or passport office, people are going to track where I've been. I went to Ghana last year and I was there for the All African Games. They have this thing called Ghana card. And if you want to stay more than 30 days or up to 30 days, you can get their Ghana card. They will give you, it says Republic of Ghana, non-foreigner ID. Looks like a driver's license. I always like to have paperwork of every country I go to. In there, they will take your money, $120. They will give you the Ghana card. They will do your face. They will do your biometric, everything. So if a Nigerian police officer, she was in Ghana, let's see how she entered. They can also find your fingerprint anywhere. So this is not even a fingerprint issue. This is a DNA issue that needs to be linked to blood at the scene. If you are treating somebody that has bloody wounds and you are the one that caused the wounds, maybe O.J. Simpson just died. O.J. Simpson just died last week. This idiot wrote on his will that he doesn't want the Goldmans to get a penny. Maybe I was a 30-year-old journalist when we were doing this case with the Kardashian, Robert Kardashian lawyer. I was 30 years old that year, and I remember very well. Now he's dead. The person he put in charge of his estate, he said the Goldmans must not get anything. Those ones have not even begun to file. The person that's executing the estate has now quit and said they should give it to someone else because the Goldmans are going to get everything. So the way it was done was O.J. Simpson at the scene? Did the glove fit him? And the whole glove thing, it didn't fit him, so it wasn't there. Bullshit. That's what Wunmi is escaping. It's not about her baby. That's what I want to tell you.
All right, thank you so much for answering the question. Yes, definitely. I have a lot of things to say, but I'm just going to say them in a very, very simpler way. Also, I noticed that you are always saying that we Nigerians don't like you and your works. Yes. And the fact,
because they make it clear now. Their comments. Look at the comments. How can 500 comments be saying that I'm a, what's it called? 529 replies to a comment. He's calling me drug addict. Not drug addict, really. Go and take your medicine. What nonsense is that? You see what I'm saying?
For me, as a new, I could see the comments. Yeah, as a neutral Nigerian, I strongly believe in this. Madam, you as a journalist, I think most of your job should be more of physical artifacts and less of talking. What I'm trying to say is that if you are saying you're having a pending or an ongoing cases going on in your portfolio, you simply need to give us physical evidence for us to be able to see all of this.
That's
Now,
the
we have been
mistake
talking
we
about.
have. Hello, Abija.
okay.
That's the mistake you are making. I'm not a Nigerian trained journalist. I'm a US trained journalist. Journalists don't give
That
evidence
is
of
the reason
anything.
why we cannot give you the respect or the
Right.
respect you deserve.
Journalists don't give any evidence of anything. David Hunday, let me finish, please. Let me finish. I want people to hear this.
Okay.
This is the reason why US trained journalists are very different from Nigerian trained journalists. There are 3 American music magazines, they're big ones, all hip hop, and another 2 that want me to write an article about Mohbad. I have not been able to write the article because the story keeps unfolding every day. Journalism is not practiced the same everywhere. Police is not practiced the same everywhere. Doctors are not practicing the same everywhere. It's the same with journalism. David Hunday is the one that started that nonsense mentality. Journalists never give you any physical or any evidence, as a matter of fact, because we protect the source. That is an ethic of journalism. I don't know where David Hunday went to school. Oxford University called him a blogger. But in journalism, you must protect the source. We cannot give you physical evidence. Let me finish. This is very important.
Hold on. I don't think you should go down the point about David. Mr. Bija, just hold on a second.
All right,
sir, please.
okay.
Auntie Kemi, I don't think you should go that line with David. I think actually I'll love you.
Hello? What happened to Oluomo? Can you guys hear me?
Oluomo, are you there? Yes, I can hear you, madam.
Okay, I don't know what happened to Oluomo, but why he's coming back.
He's having an issue. All right, so my last
Okay,
question
while he's coming back, I'm going to bring Shola in, but let me say this. Let me explain to you guys why journalism, we have to protect the source. This is the 3rd ethic of journalism, okay? Somebody gave David Hunday the mapping out plans of how they're going to bomb Niger. ECOWAS is going to bomb Niger. David Hunday went and posted a sensitive Air Force document online. Is he supposed to tell you who gave it to him? No, he's not. He's supposed to protect the source. But because it's an Air Force document, everybody in the Air Force area where that document came from, they're now in trouble. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is the reason why we don't give you any physical hard evidence, okay? Like when Koza happened, look at what happened in Koza. I knew that Busola Dakolo was not raped by Fatou Imbu. I found all the evidence against her and I investigated her all the way to Ilorin when she was a teenager. When my evidence came out, she went to court. What happened at the court? The court dismissed the case and fined her 1 million naira and said she injured a church. I'm fining you 1 million naira for injuring a church. I was vindicated in that. If I did not get involved in that case, till today, I've never seen or spoken to Fatou Imbu, and I'm still trying to interview him for my book. I have not been able to. I went to Abuja once. Abuja, okay. I've only been once in my life, and I went there, and he was having a crusade, so he couldn't see me. People are saying he had paid me billions. He had paid me this, he has paid me that. If I have to go by somebody has paid me, and I'm still begging for money to do investigations, then I'll be a billionaire and I wouldn't have to beg. So Busola Dakolo lied. Timi Dakolo went and altered the police reports and the dates through a man from Bayelsa, who is a police officer, a top cop. I busted all of them. It's the same thing with Kachi. It's the same thing with Kachi, who fell from a balcony in Ghana, and they said that Ike Dairo's grandson was the one that pushed him. It's the same thing with D'banj. How can D'banj go and drop the keys at the hotel receptionist and nobody will notice it's not D'banj? Shaitan lied. Every case I did, the Oromanis, I said this man did negligence. 2 years, 3 years later, they found him guilty of negligence. Yesterday, when they found Oromani guilty of negligence, 2 days ago, in America, Oromani would have been arrested, tried on a separate case, and all his children would have been taken away from him, under 18. And he has 2 others who are under 18. They would have taken the children's custody. Learn how journalism is done in another country. It's not the same way in Nigeria. This nonsense they're teaching them in Nigeria. Let me finish. I have a school on Twitter, 2222 Media School. Everybody can follow it. Those are the real ways journalism is taught. Anything you see me writing over there, not the physical evidence and all that. Let me ask you a question now, Abija. One question. You witnessed a shooting, okay? You witnessed a shooting. I'm inside my kitchen now and I'm looking out and I heard gunshots rang. There are two people in the car, a driver and a passenger. There's a girl selling mango next to the car. She ran for her life. You're also there on an Okada and you saw the shooting. All I'm looking at in this kitchen is two guys in a bike. They opened fire. They got down and they went to the boot of the car and they took a bag and they left on the Okada. And I saw all of you. Later on, when they're gone, the two men driving the car, they're dead inside the car with blood everywhere. The girl selling the mango, Nike, she comes back towards the mango. A crowd gathered and I went outside the gate and I said, let me go and see what happened here. And you came to me and said, this is what happened. They just came, I think they trailed them from the bank. And then when they turned around this corner because of the speed bump, the Okada people just shot them because they were slow and they took a bag of money. Okay, 9 million was in that car. This happened in real life in front of our house in Ibadan. And when that girl came to tell me, Nike, explaining everything, am I supposed to tell people her name, Nike Balogun? Within the minute I go back into the house, Nigerian Tribune calls me. The editor of the Nigerian Tribune called me, Debo Abdullahi. Debo said, Kemi, there's a shooting in front of your house. We just heard. We just saw the location and everything. Is there a crowd out there? I said, yes, now I even went there and everything. Debo now said, can you help us file a story? You know what that means? When a newspaper that you don't work for, you know, I did some freelance work for Tribune, but I don't work for them or anything, but I was at the scene of the crime because it's in front of our gates. So can you help us file a story? So I filed the story, I wrote the story, and I sent it to the newsroom via email. And when it comes out in the papers, it will say by Kami Olunloyo, contributor, and I'll get my money and he will pay me my money. That's how that works. I filed that story for them. In that story, should I mention Nike Balogun? The mango seller told me, I can't mention her name. I can't give you physical evidence. I can't give you any proof. Because in journalism, you protect the source. I taught this to all my followers. If you don't protect the source, those guys are still alive. They stole 9 million from that car. Those two men that died were pastors of a church. They went to the bank to withdraw 9 million from GT in Bodija, and they were coming towards the Kolaba. The money was supposed to be for an event in the church, renting the hall, food, everything. The woman, one of the pastor's wives, met me in a very unusual situation. The school in front of our house, they call it our high school. Every September when they resume school, they always have the first day of assembly. A guest speaker will come. I was the one they invited to come and do drug abuse after the assembly. When they had finished all the assembly prayers and everything, and I came and, hey, students, don't forget drugs. Oh, and when we finished, that was it. On my way off that stage, now everybody has scattered. The children are gone to class, and I'm walking home. A woman came to me out of all the teachers that were greeting me. I said, Auntie, how are you? I'd like to talk to you. I said, are you a teacher? I said, yes. Auntie, thank you for everything you did. You remember those two men that were shot in front of your house down there? I said, yeah, I remember that shooting. The driver was my husband, a pastor. You see how I met the woman? She now told me the whole story. So I'm telling you the story, how journalism works. If Nike didn't tell me, not to mention her name, most people will tell you, in Nigerian police, in DSS, in EFCC, yesterday in EFCC, my EFCC snitch, he told me, Auntie Kemi, Emma mention Orukomi, Emma Darukomi, please don't mention my name. What is going on here is Oyewale and the bosses. Oyewale is the spokesman and the bosses, they're cracking up on money laundering. A lot of celebrities are carrying money for governors, past governors, all that. And they always post it on social media. I went to visit this governor, my governor is this. That's why they took Cubana chief priest, Emma Darukomi, Emma Erotio. Even all the way Abidjan to what happened in Ghana during Hajia for Real's confession. Mona Montrage, a Ghanaian girl, the female hush puppy, they call her. Mona was doing a dating scam and she ripped an American guy of almost 2 million. Mona was just the fine face that the man was seeing. Mona was working with 5 other people. She now mentioned a big politician in Ghana, a big musician, a big this. She mentioned 5 prominent people and they gave her plea deal. So she's facing 5 years now. They will probably give her 2 years because she cooperated with them. She won't be able to return to Ghana. She'll have to file asylum, just like Hush Puppy. Only a panel, they can kill her. So I saw my name trending in Ghana, everywhere on the blogs. They said, Dr. Kami Olunloyo, a journalist posted it on her page. Do you know how I got that information? That Mona mentioned certain people and that she's going to plead guilty. I got it before any Ghanaian media. The same way I did Hush Puppy. Do you know how I got that information? From one single FBI guy. And David Hunde came out saying she's talking about her FBI guy. Nobody knows her in the FBI. Hunde is just jealous. He wants to shine his own star brighter by deeming others. He doesn't know investigative journalists. He's the very same FBI agent that worked with me with Hush Puppy's case. That is the one that gave me Mona's information. So some of the people where I was staying, the Airbnb I was staying, some of the people there, I know you're the Nigerian journalist, blah, blah, blah. Said, my FBI guy, you have to have somebody inside. You have to have a source. Are you going to mention his name? And that one too will be saying, hey, Kemi, don't mention my name, because when you are typing a story, you can accidentally mention somebody's name. Do you know that? Abita, did you know that? You know, you can accidentally type somebody's name. So FBI Michael this or Jonathan that. So you have to be so careful. You don't give hard evidence. That's how we teach journalism. You don't have to prove anything. Nigerians are like, proof. They just give you a hot story. You're looking for proof. No, we protect the source. Who told me that Davido's Davido's child is a girl? Okay? Did I not follow up with the nanny and the nanny's family and everything? I dressed the boy like a girl for 2 years. Okay, who told me that the child did not drown? Okay, I could give you that source, but I didn't give you the direct source, did I? Did I give you the name of the direct source? The person that gave me that information was Banana Island Estate. I was standing there in their office, and the man told me, he said, Madam, nobody drowned in our estate. There was no drowning on our estate. I said, okay, wait. There was no drowning on your estate. That house right there belongs to Davido, right? He stayed in that house. That house right there was a drowning, a child drowned there, and the Nigerian police said, the autopsy said the child drowned. I'm telling you, no one drowned in this estate. Am I going to stand here arguing with this guy? There was no drowning. So I went to celebrities who live in Banana Island. One particular celebrity, I won't mention anyone's name, said, Auntie Kemi, I don't know what to tell you, but when it happened, all of us ran to the office. Everybody came to the office, and the estate said nobody drowned. So where did Davido's child drown? Where did he die? How did he die? That's investigative journalism. Did I give you the name of the guy I was talking to at Banana Island because he was speaking off? I didn't, because he was speaking off the record. So by the time the story hits there, his boss was there right next to me. Okay, his boss was there right next to me. So when the story now hits up on my pages, the boss too was reading it now. I didn't mention their names. I just said the Banana Island Estate says that would protect them, that no one drowned in the estate. Whatever the Adeleke wants to say, they can say, but no one drowned in our estate.
Madam Kelly, I just hope that one day, you are going to find a way to resolve the issue with Davido. So lastly, I'm going to ask.
I'm not. Davido has to apologize.
So, okay, you said.
Listen. I don't want an apology. I did the video yesterday. I'm no longer going to be talking about him. If he wants to say he's sorry, let him tweet what he said. Let him untweet what he said. Davido didn't tell me something. He tweeted to 29 million people. Okay, he said he sexually harassed me for doing my job. Okay, people are saying they're talking about this case in America now. I'm not going to sue Davido because his fans think that it can't happen. It can happen. Okay, if I take that case into a U.S. court and I say Davido sexually harassed me, the Me Too movement will jump on me right away. Okay, because it's there. It's right there. Old woman, go and oil your pussy. You are lacking sex. What did I tweet before he wrote that? I said, we're hearing sources that Davido has been cheating on Chioma and they've broken up temporarily with him locking her Instagram up. Is it a lie? It was true. So someone is doing entertainment and gossip news. They're doing their job. You now tell them to go and oil their pussy. They now reply to you and then you now call them a woman. The next tweet, cheap drug user. What nonsense is that? Can you do that on US soil?
That's just a bant, actually. I think it's just a bant because it is just like it. It's just like Newton's laws of motion, which says that for every action and reaction, there is equal and opposite reaction.
Do you know the meaning of untweeting something? To untweet something.
Yes, he has to delete that and apologize.
No, it's not deleting it. The tweet is still there. You need to go and find the tweets. And Abijah, you need to find the tweets and read the comments under the tweets. Because what happened under the tweets is what destroyed my brand. His fans promoted it so bad. Maybe 1% said, this is not right. You shouldn't be talking to her like this. Many of his fans promoted it so much. They brought me down. My brand came down. A radio station said they couldn't hire me. A radio station wanted to hire me because they said I had the best voice in Nigeria, but somebody in that radio station told their boss that they shouldn't bring Kami Olunloyo here because the video called her a mad woman, and we don't want mad people here. Little things like that, you get sued in America and you collect millions of dollars. I wouldn't sue Davido in America because it can get really dirty. If I sue Davido in America, I will cancel him. It's very easy for me. Nigerians, it's 30 BGs that you can't cancel him. Was he not at the basketball game? Was he not at the basketball game 3 days ago and nobody knew him? All the comments like, who is this random guy? 29 million followers. We don't even know him.
That is just Twitter bans, Madam Kemi. That's just a Twitter ban. That's just a Twitter ban. Let us leave that aside. Now, for my last question, so that we can give the microphone to someone else. No, madam, please I'm your biggest fan now. This is the same thing you're doing to me again.
Abija, I know. Thank you so much for coming on the show. The floor is yours.
Yeah, my woman. Good evening. Good evening.
So, how are you, Sele?
Yeah, I'm okay. So, this Mohbad's case, I know, it's really a complicated one. And for the fact that it's also taking a lot of time, I think it died about maybe September or so. And September till now, that's a lot of time, And the wife, hasn't been straight, she also played a part in making the case a complicated one, because at some point, cases like this, everyone is a suspect. Like, everyone is a suspect because it's obvious that whatever happened to him, if it's not a natural death, it means that it's from his close circles, And the wife, the brother, the father, everybody is a suspect here. So if you really want to find the truth, everybody needs to be tested. And I think there was one voice note, or I think there was one voice note that dropped at some point. That was when he died, though it was still fresh then. So the voice note was like, the girl that's Bumi and Mohbad, they were having a conversation, and he was talking about she trying to kill him and all of that, And so for that type of conversation to make it to the internet, it means that it could have been something else, and it's made her more of a target at the end of the day. And also it could be that she cheated in the process. So, and something about cheating women. So a woman would rather do anything, go any length. She could even silence you, kill you, just not to get exposed, And that could be the case, or maybe not. So the police are not stupid. And also the fact that people were demanding for these things, I feel she could have just done it and just moved on. If you got nothing to hide, you just do it and you just move on, And everybody frees you, they know that you're not part of the problem, A lot of talks that the sister and even her herself, that they've been doing. I think about last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks. So the sister came on the internet and she was like, so she was like, did Mohbad's father have a DNA test on Mohbad? And all of those conversations, all of those talks are very, very unnecessary, This case is actually different. Nigerians are interested in it because they were actually demanding for justice for him. A lot of his fans were interested in the case. I think they even had a protest. I didn't go though, but a lot of people were outside, celebrities, people were outside, to demand for justice for him and all. So it's just right that you just do whatever you need to do, clear your name out of it and just move on if you really have nothing to hide. So, and also, when you see Nigeria as a country being the second country after Jamaica with the highest rate of paternity fraud, you really can't trust anything in this country anymore. So something like DNA test, this shouldn't even be a thing that we should be arguing over. This thing is something that even the government need to subsidize the fee. yeah, they need to subsidize the fee or even make it completely free, in different hospitals and government hospitals majorly. So people can actually do these things, do the test and know their fate early. A lot of men are dying. A lot of men get to like know these things after raising three kids that are not theirs, after investing your time, your emotions, your resources and all of that, which is it's not good for anybody, trust me. And this is even if you are strong enough, no matter how strong you claim you are, you would definitely feel it. This is something you can never completely heal from, no matter how strong you are as a man. Imagine raising three kids and one of the child is already 18 or maybe 20, and you realize that the three kids are not yours. It's traumatizing. And this is something that will ruin your mental health for life. You can't completely heal from it. So, and it's been normalized. This generation of ours, we are not just genuine. A lot of dishonesty. People have no problem going through their partner's phones. You see people on the internet say they'll go through their partner's phones, they'll do this, they'll do that. When you're talking about going through your partner's phones, nobody comes up with trust issues. Nobody says you don't trust your partner, you don't do this, you don't do that. You still go ahead, you go through their phones looking for what isn't missing at the end of the day. But where they draw the line when it comes to trust is when we're talking about DNA. And you just need to. That's why most of the time when I just see women move like that, I just go through the comment section. Some of the women moving like that, I could just bookmark some of their comments, or maybe I just block them straight, or maybe I just block them straight. I just know that if I
the
see
women that support it the most.
so I just if I see any of my guy trying to wife any of those babes, I just have to tell him that, man, this babe is a red flag or something. So most of the time I just bookmark those comments or I just block them straight and know easily. So this is 2024 and things like this shouldn't even like be up for debate, because it puts everybody in a safer space. The man is happy that his wife is loyal, faithful to him. His kids are his. They even have these baby swaps in hospitals. It could be that also. It could be for whatever reason. But you just know that you're doing the right thing, and you know that the woman you with isn't like defrauding you, easily. And I think there should even be a crime for it. I don't think they arrest these people. I don't think they lock these people up. I don't think these women really
For
face.
paternity fraud.
Yeah. Because most of the time
They're
I just
saying they
see.
should lock people up.
Are you joking? Most of the time I see the man gets depressed, some end their lives, and the women still get to live their life on, and it's sad actually. So I feel people should actually face it. There should be a punishment for things like this. And when I'm talking about punishment, I'm not talking about someone going to do 6 months like Bobrisky. Punishment that that someone will really feel it. Maybe you tell them to let me see. Let me try to be nice though. Let me see one. Now I won't say death by hanging is a stretch, I think. Okay, maybe they could do like 40 years, 30 years, thereabouts, because it's actually bad. You're ruining someone's life for life.
That's it.
So you just need to like face the consequences too. And once they are like punishment for these things and the government takes it serious, trust me, I think it will reduce a little. When you feel in a land without laws and rules, a whole lot of abominations, happens because nobody would hold you to it at the end of the day. But now nobody's praying money in parties anymore. Everybody is like putting their money in their pocket, doing transfers and all of that
Did you
now.
see that person? Did you see that person that sprayed Sonia and just took the money to the
Tourism
state?
is any
Oh no, I didn't
part
see
of your
that. I didn't see
The,
that.
you
I
know
didn't see
the
that.
stack of money. You know how they have the stack of money.
Mhm.
The woman went on the stage and gave Sonia the stack of money, and he just put it inside under his shirt. Everybody. But I
So
have a
everybody's
question.
trying to be careful. Yeah, go on,
You
go on,
have
go
to
on,
be
go on, June. Yeah.
careful. But
Okay.
I respect your working, but I have a question for you. And I want you to
Yeah, go on.
sincerely answer that question for me. Now, at the beginning of the Mohbad death, right? When I started the whole DNA stuff, the story about the ritual, the cult ritual in the Malian house, that Wumi was forced to have sex with everybody in the house. Everybody has their
Yeah, yeah.
own deep,
I
dark
think I
secret.
had that. I had that. I had that. Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, after she was forced to have sex with everybody in the house, she got pregnant. And who is the father? Then the DNA sample sent to another country when fights really started. Do you not think that she's not telling anybody that she's not telling anybody who she slept with, whether it's in the Malian house or outside or hook up? She's not telling anybody. There are multiple partners, and that's why it's best for her to do a DNA on the child. You said
Okay, so
something about
okay, so personally though, I
yeah.
don't really like believe that she slept with everybody in the Malian's house. Yeah, so like
Mm-hmm,
things
mm-hmm.
like that, I believe things like that mostly when they are like evidences. So, but from the conversation, most especially what the sister said recently, that she
Yeah,
said Mohbad was actually infecting the sister, from time to time. She had to use a lot of antibiotics, to like
yeah.
cure STIs, which
Mm-hmm.
if you had that perspective, if you had that type of
But
if you
do
viewed
you
your
believe? You don't
husband.
believe me, right? But do you believe her, Shola? No evidences. Remember, you said it just now. Do you believe Sarimo?
Okay, that's what the sister said.
That's what the sister said. Remember, you just told me now that
Yeah.
even
What I'm
though
saying, yeah, I'm trying to make a point. So, I mean, if they actually viewed Mohbad that way, if they actually viewed him from the angle of he used to like give her infection, he was cheating, this and that, it means that there's a perspective that they've had of him even before he died, which could have led to maybe her cheating, or maybe she feeling she's cheating back on him since he too is not loyal or something. So definitely
Mhm.
a DNA test is like needed in a case like this. It just makes her clear, it makes her come out as innocent. It has nothing to do with the child, but has more to do with her. Because the death was too quick. A boy died the show on Sunday and he passed out on Monday, and he went for the show. He wasn't looking sick at the show, and he died the next day.
Mm.
So it means the death was from the inner circle, and anybody can be the person that like did this. I feel there's a lot they know about that the internet doesn't know about. So everybody's a suspect. She's a suspect, and the only way she can free herself completely or partially, let me just say partially, is by having a DNA test. Once she runs it, it's clear that
No
okay,
doubt.
Mohbad is the father of the child. So there's probably not like she cheated and she had to like hide something by like taking his life, or she had the hand in his demise or something like that. So I think it should
Yeah.
just clear her name. She'll be doing herself more good if she actually do the DNA test. But women could be funny a lot of
Okay,
times.
Shola,
They,
before you, I want you, don't go yet, though. I want you to mute your mic. But Shola, before you mute your mic, what do you have to say? What do you have to say about her not taking the order from the sheriff?
Okay.
Okay, Shola,
Um,
wait, Shola, hold on. Yesterday, the court order was written by the court. The judge said they should go serve her. They went to her house yesterday. She was not there. And the person they met there said she's at another house right now. They went to that address and they were not able to serve her because she's not trying to be served. What do you now think about that? Is she not hiding something?
although with the way the case has been, I don't even think our location being public or being known is actually safe for her too. So it's understandable if she's trying to like hide or move from place to place, because this case is like real complex. I think I saw Naira Marley recently at the mall when I went to Ibano. So they came in
Yeah.
crowd. They were like a lot of guys around him and all. So everybody's just trying to be careful at a time like this because you could just be an easy target, in a case like this. So definitely our location would be hidden for now. She'll be trying to like hide her head, just
All
for
right.
our own safety too. So it's understandable. But I believe this you cannot outsmart the court. No matter how much you run, you definitely face what you have to face. So yeah, with time though. Yeah. So I think we should just be patient and just observe a little. Yeah. So
That's what I'm going to, Shola, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be sitting and watching to see whether she'll show up. But all the people that encouraged her not to take that DNA test, what are they
No, those
saying?
people don't like her though. Those people don't like her. Trust me.
Did you
Like
see my
those
video this morning yet? Shola, I know you're on Twitter a lot, but I did a video this morning. It's on all the other platforms, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. It's about Yabo Ojo and Bukky Jesse. Yabo posted a video this morning cursing the hell out of Bukky, saying that Bukky should stop.
I think maybe Alkem is getting a call or something. Sure.
Oh, okay. Because I thought it was my
Yeah.
network. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Firstly, I
Alkem
don't
is
even
getting
know
a
who's
call.
Bookie Jesse, or what did she call that person? I don't know who that person is. So I don't follow these people like that. So I really don't know much about their gist and boy. Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is what it is.
I'm not into music myself like that. Anyway, so I don't know
Ah,
much of.
you have all your caution. That's none of my business most of the time. So I just do my thing and just. I think I produce more than I consume on social media. So most of the time I've been missing out on a lot of talks or controversies.
I think for me, when it comes to DNA, in all fairness, though, I think there's a lot going on with the DNA stuff. And in all fairness, I think people need to understand that many men who are victims of this I'll call it menace. I mean, I've ended up suffering from mental, emotional, and physical breakdown, just like you're saying earlier on, Shola. That you wonder somebody having a child. I mean, finances, your physical, everything with the child, and then 20 years down the line, you now find out that this child is not yours. In fact, there was somebody who suffered cardiac arrest, I think sometime last year. Oh, the host connection is giving issues. So I think the space might crash soon, guys. So if it crashes, well, so busy. Shola, were you gonna say something?
No.
Please note, views and opinions expressed in the course of this program do not represent that of WOTV. Therefore, this channel is not liable to any legal action that may result from this program.
Disclaimer: the information provided by the speaker or presenter on the WOTV platform during this broadcast is for general informational purposes only. All information in this broadcast is provided in good faith. However, we make no representation or warranty of any kind, expressed or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of the information. The broadcaster of the channel may not and cannot be held accountable for the views, opinions, and comments made by callers during this broadcast. WOTV is a contemporary Nigerian news and entertainment TV program born from the need to fuse the popular indigenous Yoruba culture into the growing entertainment industry of Nigeria and the rest of the world.